everyone. I am not going to be your host and game master today. Tom, I leave the reins tentatively in your hands.
You have made a terrible mistake. I can confirm that right away.
Of that I am certain.
Hello, everyone of the internet and of YouTube, and welcome to Final Fantasy Chronicles of Eno Genesis. I will be your game master today, Tom117Z, and the first person who spoke who I recently dethroned is our first player of the day, Skijaramas, also known as Tone Shift.
Yo! I will have my throne back. I will take it.
Give it 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Also joining us today is Darkness.
Greetings, all.
Hades.
You.
And Mystic, who's a little sick, but we're here for you.
Hello.
We will also be joined by Ari, who usually plays Kayana, but she is running a little bit late due to a quick jaunt to the store. She will join us mid-session. So everyone is on the same page that we are. This is my first time ever DMing a game, and it's an ambitious one, so do bear with me, and I apologize to everyone in advance if this turns out to be terrible. Are we all
give him
ready?
some cheers to boost his morale! Woo! You got this!
Yay!
Yeah, I'm
got
gonna
it,
kill you
buddy.
all.
At least let me have my last sip of drink before my demise.
Oh, for it, my dragon friend. Now,
If a dragon drinks alcohol, will it just come up as fire?
we have Tier Myth in our main campaign, so we can always test this in the future.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Idea!
Oh no! Do you want to char the inside of your boy's throat?
Yes.
Of course, Aeon would say that, yes.
Yeah, this is gonna go for
I thought you
Aeon.
guys reconciled!
I mean,
It's
it's gonna go
it's
as well
a
as
harmless
Crimson.
sibling prank.
Really?
Harmless. Harmless.
Quote unquote harmless.
So, are we all ready to try and begin my opening narration and see where this clusterfuck goes?
Yes.
Let's go.
Have at it, my man.
In that case, you all know the world of Eno, filled with vast quantities of life and light, civilizations stretching back eons, from the Mithra of the Makotan Isles to the majestic wonders of the people of Endlem. Mortal races of every shape, every creed, a world in which warriors of light would arise to safeguard those that called this star home. This is not that story. Today we return to the beginning. Time of Immortals. A world taking its first breaths where gods and their creations ruled supreme. From the primordial darkness did the gods arise, and using that which birthed them, they accelerated the world's development by millennia, and their greatest achievement is perhaps the Tower of Creation, from which all the world's darkness may be stored and manipulated. The creation of such a marvel did not come overnight. Dotted around the star are towers of smaller stature, prototype designs which have since served as the basis for what few cities exist in this infant world. One of these is the Circus Tower, a gleaming spire of crystal sitting upon the first continent. It is here that our story begins. For 10 years ago, a great betrayal occurred. The God of Darkness, the eldest sibling, betrayed and murdered the gentle goddess Phoenix, before being slain in turn by the god of fire Ifrit. Awashed with flame, his essence was scattered throughout the darkest depths of the world, a corrupted crystal known as demi-amber. Yet it was silent, inert. Not anymore. Crystals have begun to sprout in the vicinity of the Circus Tower. Darkness stirs, without a known benefactor. Creatures have been rumoured, beings not of the god's creation. All these but threats to the great work within the tower. This is where all of you come in. If you would like to introduce yourselves, starting with our dethroned DM.
So, I am playing a lightning elemental individual named Balta Braith, a humanoid-shaped individual that kind of takes after the god of lightning Ramu, with this big bushy beard, thick mustache, and sort of swept back hair, and a generally elderly visage. He has these sort of piercing purple eyes. He's dressed in sort of this combination of flowing robes and metal-plated armor that doesn't extend beyond his shoulders or arms, affording protection, but not a whole lot in the way of a limitation on his movement. He has no legs. Instead, his torso merges down into a jutting spear of purple, glowing, elementally aspected lightning crystals that he floats from, and sort of strapped to his back, when he's not using it, is a colossal warhammer called Mjolnir, silver at its head and at its pommel, and apparently capable of transforming into a staff at a moment's notice.
I don't remember Thor doing that.
He is slightly more eccentric, Thor, saying something. So, Darkness, if you would like to go next.
Okie dokie. So I play Arcane, a red dragon the size of a chocobo. Very young, can be brash, but aims to prove himself to his old father Bahamut by any means.
And Hades, what do you have for us today?
Today is the day that you all meet a hulking tower of a creation, humanoid shape, or you would imagine, as you can't see anything other than the thick, heavy black steel armor that he wears, helm and all, with a billowing cape and behind, carrying a large greatsword that's about as big as he is, with a tower shield that covers a good majority of his body. There is nothing on this man that is not covered by just blackened steel. And while he moves slower than with all this weight, you know that it would take the force of Odin himself to bring him down. This is Tarkus.
His
servant. What?
And his ridiculous armor score.
Creation of Odin, to which he is eternally loyal. If Odin says do this, he will say when.
Very, very nice. And penultimately, Mystic, what do you have for us?
Ugh, I haven't. It's funny because I don't remember what I had for this character. It's been a while. I really don't remember what I had.
Small owl girl.
Yeah, but I don't remember what I had her as, like, what she did. That's my issue.
You had her as a knowledge bringer, like, if you want me to help you out with that, hun.
I kinda, because I don't remember.
As Hun is a little under the weather today and very tired, so...
We also
I'm
made these
very
characters before
unprepared,
Christmas.
too.
And so, yeah, I'm gonna help her out here, everybody. So, floating along, not even bothering to walk, as that's boring, you see just a little child. Well, you would think as a child, as for her size, but her skin is blue. And if I could just make sure I've got a picture of, there's just wearing a long coat that resembles the feathers of a snowy owl, lightish blue hair, and these piercing yellow eyes with all these lovely ice jewelry. You can tell, yeah, she's a creation of Shiva. A daughter, if you would. Knowledge bringer to bring any new things of interest to her mother on her isolated glacier. This is Hyone, little snow owl girl.
Thank you.
And Ari is online, so if Ari could pop in now, that would be Fantastically
We can wait a few
timed.
minutes
That would
if
be
you'd like.
amazing.
Well, we're already underway, so I mean, if she pops in now, that'd be amazing. I can slot her in right away. But as it is, if that happens, we will get to her when we get to her. But for now, you have all been gathered together by the god Odin and his trusty steed, Sleipnir. You have been deemed worthy of a task of great import, the discovery of the source of this amber infestation. To that end, Odin raises his mighty blade to the sky as waves of prismatic energies consume you. And then you are elsewhere. And I'm going to need to quickly change the map to something else.
Duh.
And you'll see it.
Aye.
Aye.
Touching down upon gentle grass,
I do.
Odin remaining at your side. In these first moments of this mini adventure, what do you do?
Well, first of all, if no one else has anything, Balto will turn back to the rest of the group and offer up a little nod towards Odin. Then turn to the others.
Hide Freya as well.
Indeed. Turn back to the others. I've been to this city before, quite some time ago, so things may have changed. But if you have any questions about where we are bound, by all means ask. I can relay what information I know. Riveting conversation.
All I need is but a direction that my lord points to.
Then I would point you to Balta Braith, Odin says. He is of this city. You would be wise to seek his wisdom.
By your leave, lord.
Does he, or does he just remain silent?
Okay. I can breathe.
Off to a great start here, Tarkus.
Head empty, must hit things.
Darkness, you're muted. Is there a reason?
Oh, darkness, our old friend.
I know you're there. I know you're there, Darkness. I can see your shadow
I see
dancing
the
around.
shadow moving.
Yeah.
You are muted, you... Talk, dragon!
What? He is typing. What is he? He's having mic problems. Oh, good. This is how we start things.
Fucking-tastic.
difficulty screen.
Jesus
I
Christ.
need breathe.
Trying! You don't see how hard it is to cough and breathe at the same time.
Off to a
This is-
fantastic start.
He sucked in the air, not out.
Oh, honey, I want to hit you right now.
With love.
Freaking. No.
Oh, is he back?
Is
Hello?
the mic fixed?
Hey! We can hear you.
Hey, my internet's not committing suicide. Or my mic, whatever one.
But my confidence is. Anyway.
So, how much of that exchange did you hear?
I heard everything. The problem is you couldn't hear me.
All
Does
right.
Arcane have any questions for Balta Braith? With Tarkus being characteristically silent.
Well, knowing Arcane, he's probably more eager to see what the problem is than anything. But also probably looking around and studying people since, well, is to get used to working alongside everyone.
Does he say anything, or is he just examining the area?
At the moment, examining to have a notice. Also, Ari is texting. So this could be promising.
Could be.
Hopefully. But Odin, seeing everyone else silent in regards to Balta's
Yes.
And of course, there's her parents.
initial statement, just goes, I trust you have things handled with this group, Braith.
I am usually accustomed to working on my own, but it shouldn't pose any trouble.
They are a myriad group, creations of all my siblings. But you have been chosen for your skill sets. And dealing with that, he points towards the horizon, and you currently stand on a hillside overlooking a lush green plain. A scarce scattering of trees merrily providing you a path to the monolithic structures ahead. Vast buildings reaching into the sky. Spires that twist, turn, and shine with the brilliance of the gods themselves. Constructed as artistic monuments to their power and their glory. You stand before the city of Amarot.
I see what you did there.
All this pales in comparison to what sits at the city's center. A single, perfect shard of crystal that reaches through the clouds until it scrapes against the heavens themselves. You would all know this to be the Circus Tower, otherwise known as the Crystal Tower, Amarot's beating heart, and one of the famed towers that preceded that which sits to the north of your present location. As you gaze upon this marvel, the very image of prosperity, two people begin to approach you before stopping and giving respectful bows of their heads to Odin. Give me a second. The man is muscular and imposing, whose skin is pitch black and glowing with ley lines snaking around his body like tattoos. A staff of crystal made from the tower itself in his right hand. Meanwhile, the other is a woman who looks remarkably plain. Blonde hair in a bun and a simple white dress. Only her eyes glow like the bottomless pits of the universe, filled with astral light. I'm inferior. It's not quite, but you know. As they approach, bow, and rise, Zande nods first towards Odin, and then towards you, Balta. Brother, it has been too long.
For far too long.
These are the creations to accompany you for this task.
They are.
You trust them?
I trust that our creators would not err in their judgments on who they would assign to an important task.
Luna Freya steps forward. You are far too dour, Zande. Apologies, we haven't even introduced ourselves. This is Director Zande. He is the de facto leader of our little city. I am Luna Freya. I represent Seraph's interest in our affairs. It is a pleasure to make all of your acquaintances. I'd to ask your names. Specifically regarding Arcane, Yone, and Tarkus.
Yeah, I was just letting everyone else go first.
I'll just go with who's closest to her, so you go first.
Oh, me? Okay then.
Yes.
Ah!
You.
She knows who
You
Bolter Braith is. He
determined
lived here. So you, Arcane.
Okay. If you must know, Arcane.
Ah, you're a brusque one. Are you one of Bahamut's creations or a later brood, might I ask?
I am. And he has entrusted me to assign on this task.
I hope you don't take offense if I observe that you are rather young. For a dragon, that might not mean much, but...
Don't underestimate my skills because I'm young. I can handle any task. I can assure you.
I do not doubt. You have been chosen for this. Oh, and you! She kind of heads towards Hione. Oh, aren't you a dear thing?
Oh no.
And who might you be?
My name is Hione, thank you. And I would like to be not treated as a child.
Oh, but you make such a good passive one.
She just like kind of glares and just goes back to looking at her book.
Oh, look at the cheeks puff.
Don't touch me!
I do apologize. It is but a jest.
Just walks away.
She just laughs to herself, while Zonde looks rather nonplussed in them. And dark and brooding. Who might you be?
I am Tarkus. I serve my lord Odin in any way he sees.
Odin crosses his arms. He is blunt, but he is effective. You shall have no trouble with him, as I have commanded him to assist the investigation however you see fit. Zande steps forward. That is well. Though I hope his brawn is not so much needed as the brains Bolter may provide. This is a sensitive facility, and I will not have you breaking walls. Same to Tarkus.
Yeah. I will do as is necessary, but if it will please your mind, then yes, I will refrain from doing too much damage.
Upon that
How much-
note,
You go.
you go ahead. You're DM. You get right away.
No, that's fine. I didn't think more people were going to talk, so you go. So.
All right. Upon that note, Balta will turn back to Zande. What can you tell us about the happenings that have been going on here? These crystals that have been growing up.
Should have already been informed of the basics. The rising of the amber shards in our vicinity. Rumors of creatures that have not yet been verified, so I have my doubts. Luna, Freya steps forward at that. I less so. I've been feeling attuned to the light as I am, as Sarah's creation and his voice here. It feels diminished of late. Something is rising, and it's concerning. Especially towards the... That's enough. Sunday raises his hand. We can discuss the project in detail when we are in less open circumstances. If that is pleasing to you, Lord Odin. Odin gives a quick nod. It is. Have all of you come up with a name for your little group?
Given the circumstances, I'm not sure a name for our troop is strictly speaking necessary.
With all due respect, my lord, I don't see a name being fit, for we will be done with this group when the task is complete.
I second that. I'm only here to prove myself to Bahamut and ensure that there's no real threat to our world. Nothing more, nothing less.
If it's something we can agree on, I don't see any point myself.
Just smell the camaraderie.
You can smell the confidence, or perhaps arrogance. Be mindful as you conduct this investigation, and conduct yourselves befitting as we, your creators, would have you conduct yourselves. Is that understood?
Of course.
Very well.
Your will is my blade.
Then for short form, rather than describing your activities one name at a time, you may consider yourselves the Circus Inquisitorius, or the Inquisitorius for short. I trust there are no objections.
None.
I could not object to you, my lord.
Very well.
Accept.
Then, Director Zonde, Lunafreya, I shall leave them in. Odin pauses, his head shooting off towards something yet unseen.
My lord.
He slips off of Slipnir, the steed in question looking after him. Do you see something? Odin silently marches off nearby, where you all now see a small shard of amber actively snaking its way through the grass. It is minuscule, barely the size of a fist. And yet, Odin takes the blade from his back, puts into reverse grip, and brings it down, shattering the amber immediately. The infestation is far-flung indeed. Zande, there is something I would give you. My lord. You see the two head off over to the side. If anyone wants to roll awareness checks to see what goes on, you may.
I would like to
Sure.
do that.
Same here.
Targus doesn't care.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
God, I have such a high awareness. 17.
Alright, you get it, Mystic, you get it. Just. Arcane, are you rolling?
Indeed, I am.
He says
Here's
while
your
far away
dice.
in Texas.
Did you forget your dice?
And your camera.
Wait, what? My camera's not working again.
Oh, you disconnected from Discord, didn't you? Remember?
So yeah, I would have turned it off. So go ahead, turn it back on.
I did that.
Technical difficulties ahoy!
Just so
Yay. Well, oh, it's my first ever session DMing. Everything had to go wrong.
I mean, hey, when things are
Sorry.
going good there, it was going smooth. So far, first impressions are good.
Dink. Dink.
Ignore the
Ding.
technical issues.
Ayana, what are you working on?
Diana is gonna hopefully get.
This freaking just fixes everything.
Not registered
Oh my god.
We are so together.
Oh yeah.
Where are you?
Trying to fix my goddamn
Oh
camera.
my goodness.
Just turn it on. Just push the button.
No, it's not showing up on Discord. It's not registering.
Da-da-da-da.
Okay, fine. Fuck it. Just use the roll 20 then. It's fine.
Yes,
Why not?
you use the roll 20 or just roll your dice for this one and fix the camera while I'm describing what happens next.
I mean, just roll your dice. We don't need to see it. We trust you.
Okie dokie. Not a high wall, but let's have a look. There. I got a 2 and a 3. My awareness is. There we go. That. Oh, okay. So in total, that's 12.
Your awareness is 7?
Yes. That's what I'm seeing on here.
Your awareness is 7. I suppose that makes sense. Everyone likes to put everything into awareness. You all get it. The DC was 11. So, Tarkus, you aren't interested in what your lord is doing. You are loyal to a fault. You just stand vigil as you do. The rest of you, though, curious as to what is transpiring between this god and creation of Ramu. You see hushed whispers between the two, and a flash of alarm on Zande's face. Then almost something worshipping. As Odin hands him something, you catch the faint flicker of red before Zande swiftly puts it out of sight, and the two return. Odin is the one to speak. I do believe our affairs are in order. We put our faith in you, Inquisitorius. Do not squander it. Much is at stake in this of all places. As you, Bolter Braith, already well know.
Indeed.
Come, Slipnir. There is one other who yet acquires our attention. He raises his blade to the air, a prismatic blur shoots down towards him, and then, without another word, both are gone. You just move them aside. This leaves you alone. Your transport out of this place, likewise, having gone with the deities. The investigation starts now. If it is all the same with you, before we continue this discussion further, we should meet in the base of the Crystal Tower. Oh, but this might be a good idea to get acquainted with our city, Bolt. I know you don't need this, but the rest of you, given that this is a new locale and it is sizable for one of these little settlements, and with various facilities that might be of use to you. And it is getting towards late afternoon, so perhaps you should spend the rest of the day exploring. And we'll meet you in the tower tomorrow morning, once you have a better idea of where to go, and you're not going to get lost while looking for these pesky crystals.
I suppose I don't see no problem with that.
Learning the lay of the land would be beneficial to our cause. It would save us time in the long run if we don't have to scramble around asking after certain locations. And in the event we get separated, you won't be able to rely on my knowledge.
Exactly. I'm glad we're all on the same page.
Before that...
Yes?
And Balta is going to make his way over to where Odin shattered that amber crystal. Does Balta see any shards of it left?
No, it was just that one small initial growth, and Odin made quick work of it.
A pity there's nothing left. Might have been able to get some insight.
We have been collecting shards of it if it is of any use, though only small amounts.
Safely
Very.
contained, I should hope.
Very small amounts. Very safely contained. I do not want these things anywhere near the project. It could jeopardize everything Seraph and Alexander are working towards. Remember that if you get any bright ideas, Inquisitorius.
I'm here to solve the mystery, not cause you any trouble, brother.
You, I trust, Walter. It's the rest of these individuals that remains to be seen. Oh, you are just... They've been chosen by the gods for a reason. I'm sure we can have every faith in them. You are too trusting, and you are too grumpy.
We humped at the same time.
We are brothers.
Balta would just kind of smirk at Zande. I'm with the little one. You always were a worrywart, Zande.
And you always sided with the little one. And that is why we like him. She places an arm around you.
Balta just kind of side-eyes Lunafreya. Yes.
You are brothers indeed.
Forgive me, I'm not used to physical affections, and I will gently nudge Lunafreya off.
Okay.
No. No, I believe there is a
Always
city...
so talkative.
Oh, come now, I haven't seen my brother in ages. You can forgive a moment of chat.
Patarchus does have a point.
He does.
We shall abscond ourselves back to the tower. You all have a city to get acquainted with. Try not to get lost, Balta. I know it has been a while.
Has the city changed any meaningful amount since last I was here? The layout?
An increase in population, but only minuscule.
Then there shouldn't be any trouble for me.
Very well. Inquisitorius, we shall leave you be. And with that, you see Lunafreya and Zande swiftly depart. And as I shift you to a new map,
Oh, damn!
yes, I used the thing to prepare and I added a crystal tower.
Nice.
Not actually a custom drawn Eno map, but it will do for purposes. So let me just get to my new pages of my notes.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah.
So, you all head towards the city, I take it? Following on after your patrons?
Indeed. And Balta is ready to answer any questions anyone has as we're en route.
Are there any particular locations anyone is looking for?
Well, probably while Arcane is walking, you might hear a rumble from his stomach. Indicating he's probably getting hungry. Does this place have reliable food, at least?
Considering its population, it would have to. But a dedicated place for visitors such as us is called Deity's Rest. It's run by a grumpy ice elemental named Albon, but other than that, it should be fine.
With that, I'll add Deity's Rest to the map. It is that purple dot right there in the Eastern District.
There are a handful of other important locations we should keep in mind. Dira Supply, run by another dragonkin. Stopping by there, we can acquire supplies such as consumables, healing items, and the like. Let's see here. Where was the Academia located?
It is in the Western District. Quite close to Dara Supply, a few streets down.
Alright. All things considered, while I don't foresee it as likely we'll be heading there immediately, there is one other location to bear in mind that may be worth stopping in. Academia Anadurt in the Western District of the city. It's a large library, research center. It's dedicated to smaller projects. Things tertiarily related to or independent from the work being done in the tower.
Question is, will there be any knowledge of what we have to do with?
Potentially. These amber crystals are an unknown factor, and if Zande is so keen on keeping them away from his work in the tower, it's possible that they might be storing their samples in Academia.
Then perhaps it is worth the visit.
Perhaps.
Oh, where are y'all heading?
Oh.
I mean,
Arcane's probably going to go to the place with the food first.
Ari is home, by the way, too. I don't know
Awesome.
Excellent.
Alright. I'll take her to the Whisper Room when we're ready, which you're going to give me permission for that. Of a DM.
Yes, I will indeed give you permission to go into the Whisper Room.
Oh, right. I don't think he's been in there, actually.
Yeah, when Ari gets in and we are at a good point, I'll take her to the Whisper Room to get her introed in, and I will record that myself.
Gotcha.
So, you heading to the inn?
I would say the inn.
I would say probably a good idea, if only to get Arcane's mind off his stomach.
Dragon wants to prove himself. First thing he wants to know is where to get a burger.
Where can I get a burger?
Burger.
Burger.
Alright. So, following the cravings and callings of Arcane's stomach, you begin making your way towards the Deity's Rest Inn. So, as you are getting about here, your initial entrance into the city, I would like everyone to roll an awareness check.
Oh, another one. Although before I do, I think I might have fixed the bloody camera issue.
Another
Fingers
17.
crossed.
10.
God damn, Balta.
11.
There we go. It lives.
Woohoo!
Alright.
Finally, we're getting back into business.
Balta, you succeed, obviously. Mystic and Hades, you both fail.
Oh,
Tarkus doesn't care.
Dione's just too enthralled at like writing down her research for the city in her book, so
It is quite the sight. You haven't seen a city quite like this anywhere else on the first continent or beyond.
yeah, so she's probably just distracted.
mm-hmm.
Like, particularly, like, you see a lot of mechanical contraptions in this city. Technology, advanced, not quite so medieval. Alexander's influence, no doubt.
Grinding gears and the like.
I'd probably say that Arcane's stomach is keeping him at bay because he rolled a 10.
You fail. Alright,
Yep.
so... Tarkus doesn't care. Sorry. Hione, sorry. Getting how to pronounce your name. Hione is too busy jolting down, like, sketches and notes about all the various architectures around her. The buildings so tall, like, how do they not fall over? Arcane is just too hungry. Bolter, ever the eye for detail, and certainly the most attentive of the group. As you are going along, you get the feeling you're being watched. You can't quite place it, and it gets the hairs on the back of your neck standing on end. And then, finally, you realise. Coming from a nearby alley, dark, you can just see two pairs of eyes tracking your movements.
What color are they?
Both are blue.
Am I getting any malicious vibes from them?
Make an inquiry check.
That would be a 11.
Yeah, it's not too hard. As you go to get a closer look, you see two dragonlings just staring at you with profound awe and amazement. And then, upon realizing that you are coming closer to them, you just hear a go, hide, quick! And they scamper behind two crates.
I mean, I wasn't really intending on going closer. I was more just trying to, like, subtly look, but this works too.
Apparently
Okay.
we heard all that.
Oh, I assume so.
Go on.
I'll just smirk and look over at Arcane. Arcane. Kid. I'll just sort of nod towards where the dragons were.
You think they're talking about us? I don't know. Stay quiet. Shut up.
I am talking about you.
He can't hear us if we whisper.
I'm out now.
I think they found us. You think? Okay, we're coming out. Sheesh. And you see two very young blue dragons come crawling out somewhat sheepishly from behind the crate. The look of awe in their eyes remains, particularly locking onto you, Arcane. Oh! And they come scampering up to you. Are you related to our mum? Are you an uncle? Hi. How are you doing?
Don't believe I am related to your mother.
I mean, are you sure? Our mother's Tiamat. Hi. I'm Reacher, this is Varshan.
Goodness
see what you did
gracious.
there.
The mind.
Sorry, what was that?
He's just like, never mind in frustration.
So, who are you? Who are you? We want to know. Yeah, we want to know. You are red, so... Nidhogg, maybe? I don't know.
They won't
Oh.
stop asking you questions until you answer them.
Exactly. The other kid gets it.
I'm not a kid!
You look like one.
And you're an annoying little brat, aren't you?
You're a meanie.
Oh no.
Mm.
Play nice.
And she just sticks her tongue at them.
Varshan just taps Vitra on the shoulder. Yeah, Mom will get angry if you start making a fight with other creations. Yeah, I guess.
Speaking of, to recorrect myself, it appears I do know your mother, for she is my sister.
We know it! They glomp you.
Hey, I didn't give you permission.
Oh, sorry. Can we have permission, Mr. Uncle, sir?
Arcane, but
Mr. Uncle Arcane, sir?
I suppose.
They glomp you
But
again.
try to keep it not too clingy.
Oh, it's just we don't get to see many other proper dragons here. Like these dragonoid people. Like they stand on two legs. They're all really weird. So we haven't seen Mom in a little while. Like she's around here somewhere, I think. But we went off exploring and we got lost. And hey, we're here.
Oh my goodness.
I certainly hope this isn't a preview of what we're going to be dealing with you, Dragon.
You got a problem with me?
Yeah, you got a problem with him. You see a little puff of smoke come from his nostrils. That is a less intimidating flame, more of a someone farts into a lighter. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, Tarkus just looks down. Like, you just see...
It's
and then you probably just...
weapons doing that. Varshan's in the back looking a bit sheepish.
So, again, Tarkus is probably like 7 feet tall. Do they not have any reaction to that?
As I said, Varshan is a little bit back and kind of making... she's like, Vitra, no, maybe don't make mad the big metal guy. Vitra isn't listening and is just puffing himself up in front of you. Trying to act all tough.
I think the little one wants to beat you up.
I'm a big scary dragon like my mother. My grandfather's Bahamut himself. I can beat you. Vitra, I don't think you can beat him. I can.
Whether or not you could, I don't think it's a productive use of your energy to make that sort of fight happen.
Well, we gotta do something. The people in the city are all stuffy and boring.
Yes, but if you start a fight, you're going to get Arcane in trouble, and yourselves, and no one here wants that.
Varshan steps forward. I think we should listen to the beardy guy. He pretty knows what he's talking about. Fine.
It's wise advice. I admire your bravery, but this is one fight I know you will not win.
You see, Mom, can you put in a good word for us? Say that we really scared him, and we're all big and tough and stuff.
Do I look like one who just earned title names with lies?
I don't know.
You need more practice. Not white lies. And probably a few more inches to cope with the amount of stuff you'd be in for in the future, when it's your time to shine.
I guess. Where are we gonna find a big bad monster to test our flamethrowers out on now?
Tiana just points to the big giant metal brute behind her.
You just
Oh.
told us. You just told
Hey,
us
Ari.
not to fight him. Ari! Hello!
Hooray! Hello!
Das mute.
Mm-hmm.
Ari?
I mean, I technically didn't say anything. The bearded man said something, not to fight.
At the moment, we're dealing with two little dragon hatchlings.
Brats.
So,
Mhm.
we've got
Who,
tiny dragons that are trying to pick a fight with big metal man.
yeah, children of Tiamat, aka Big Sis to Arcane. Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
How you
Oh,
doing?
you
All right,
keep-
you
So what do I
okay?
need to go to home? A lot of shopping.
A lot of shopping. Well, at least you made it. So we'll
And I
get
also
to
have a book.
introducing your character when we get to a good stopping off point, if that's all right. Give you room
It's
to set
fine,
up.
Yeah, I'm already set up. It's just that I'm putting things away as well as already set up. It's just that I have to put everything away.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okie doke. I'll give you a chance to get to the roll 20 and all that.
I already did.
I don't currently see
Give me
you
a
unless
second.
is it loading?
Give it a second.
Yeah.
It was just loading.
But yeah, while that's going on, Reacher kind of looks at Yone again. Didn't you just tell us not to pick a fight with the big metal man? I'm getting mixed messages.
Well, I didn't say
Houston.
fight. You can give him practice.
Can we try to set you on
I'm in.
fire, Mr. Big Man?
I doubt your flames could even warm my armor.
Challenge accepted. You see flames begin to build up within Reacher's maw, and I need to quickly go to where I have his stats currently listed, because I do have
You
stats
actually
listed.
gave a little baby dragon stats.
I've given all NPCs some measure of stats.
I'm so glad I did this.
Okay, so you see just a puff of flame just burst, kind of. You can tell he's giving it his all, like he's really trying, but he's a baby dragon, like he's probably a little younger than Tyr is, and he clearly hasn't had that much practice. So for 5 MP, he does
Better give
40.
him strength.
40 points of fire damage to you, Tarkus.
And, well, let's see. What's my magic armor at this point? My magic armor is 45.
So
It
the
does
flames,
nothing.
the flames spill forth. He looks really proud, and then as the smoke dissipates, your armor is very slightly charred, but you just kind of wipe it away, and the soot just falls, and you're clearly unharmed. Ah, no fair! That arm is cheating. Take it off.
Not on your life.
Why?
That's that thing to just walk in on with no context.
Hey, Barshan, you try. No, I don't think so. Maybe we should find something smaller, like a mouse.
Oh my god.
I think you put on enough of a show.
Like Reacher just deflates and looks defeated.
Just as a quick note, from what Balta knows, how impressive was that fire for a dragon Reacher's age?
Pretty normal for a dragon that age, if that dragon hasn't actually trained or practiced much with it.
So it was kind of puny then.
Yeah.
All right.
Tiny.
Tiny flame.
Like baby tiny.
Baby.
Yeah, like
tiny.
these two dragons are a little younger than Arcane. Tiamat.
Very well. Well, this has been a very entertaining diversion, children, but unless there's anything else anyone else wishes to say.
What are you doing? Are you doing something exciting? Barshan asked.
Oh my goodness.
We have an important assignment of such.
Can we come along? It'd be awesome.
No, unfortunately. You two are very energetic. However, you'd be put to better use staying out of the way of this. It's possible it could get dangerous, and we don't want you children getting hurt.
Besides, I'd wish not Sis to blame me for anything happening to you.
Yeah, Mum can get pretty scary when she's mad.
That said, and Balta will sort of kneel down in front of them. If at any point you spot strange orange crystals growing out of the ground, or unusual creatures that you have not seen before, please let us know, or someone at either the Crystal Tower or the Academia Anader.
Is this a mission?
Just a general advisory, but if you wish to think of it as a mission, by all means. But whatever you do, don't put yourself in danger. Tell them
Reacher, we've got a mission. Reacher reflates again. Oh, this is gonna be so good. Okay, so crystals, weird monsters. Don't engage the weird monsters and come tell you to come beat them up, yes?
essentially.
Awesome, we're going to be the crystal hunters. We're going to get all of the crystals. Varshan, come on! And he just starts scampering off into the alleyway. Like, wait, you don't even know where you're going! And just chases after him.
Just be careful, the pair of you.
You have no idea if they heard you as they scampered off. Full of energy.
Well, even listen, even they were hearing me.
Annoying little pests.
They're children. Cut them some slack. Now, I believe we are making our way to the visitor center. Deity's Rest.
Yes.
Follow me then. And Balta will resume leading the way there.
Alright. If there's nothing else, you do indeed quite quickly complete your journey to the Deity's Rest Inn. It is quite a quaint building compared to the ones around it. Like, surrounding it are buildings reaching high into the sky at various measurements. This is like 3 stories tall, matches the rest of the technologically adept architecture. But at the same time, you get the sense that this building isn't used quite as much. Like, this has a very specific purpose to entertain visitors to this city. And that doesn't happen necessarily too often. You go inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, of course. We're here for food. Cause our Dargan is hungry.
Dargan is indeed hungry. Okay, so you head on inside, and style you see is not quite that of the rest of the city. Rather, it's wood flooring, a few chandeliers, tables scattered around. At the very end, you see a bar filled with a couple of menus on the wall, lines of bottles of various liquids you cannot quite yet identify, though you would imagine quite a few of them are intoxicating. And on the other side, just kind of grumbling to himself, you see a floating crystal of ice just hovering idly.
And as a reminder, the name is pronounced Albon, right?
Yeah, Alban.
Albon, it's been too long.
Ah. Well, Balta Braith. Been some time.
I've been busy.
You don't... See, this thing has no face, no mouth to speak from. Like, every time it speaks, you just see like a glow around it, intensify momentarily before receding. Interesting group you have. Well, look who it is. The little baby princess. Speaking to you, Yone.
Uh-oh.
Mystic, that's you.
Yeah.
Did you
Okay.
Are you
catch what he said?
No, I just. She doesn't have much interaction.
You know,
he killed...
he called you a little baby princess.
Mm-hmm.
Ice elemental behind the bar.
Another creation of your mother.
Are you like falling asleep over there?
No, I don't have nothing. I'm not having anything come to mind.
It's fine.
silent. Got nothing to say to your long-lost brother?
Long lost brother.
Well, we are but creations of Shiva, are we not? But while you were spoiled and treated like a daughter, she laughed as she created me to serve ice-cold drinks behind a bar. And in example, like he quickly pours just a drink from a random bottle, and he does. You just see the glass around it ice over, and you get the impression it's pleasantly chilled. Like, obviously he has no hands to do it; it just kind of floats out, encased in a glowing cyan aura.
Well, you have your talents and I have mine. Mother gave you a purpose.
Yeah, well, I don't get many customers in this place. Some of us have more to do than others, it seems.
Well, you have a small group of customers now, so to speak.
Yeah, okay. What you all having?
I'm fine myself. Mostly I think it's the dragon who's hungry.
Yes, and I wish to satisfy this unwelcoming feeling.
Poetic.
Well, what are you going to be having?
What do you have? I don't usually go to most places like this. Usually I prefer my own prey beyond cities.
Well, we can whip up various meats from various creatures out there in the wilds. I would assume you're not one for a salad.
No, certainly not.
In that
I
case,
stick with anything you have on the meat menu.
surprise steak of some sort. Gotcha. Big man in the armor, do you eat, or are you just an animated suit of some kind?
That is just none of your concern. And I require nothing of you.
Princess, you need anything?
I'm perfectly fine. Thank you, though.
Alright then. And you see him go through a door out back. You situate yourselves at a table, and after a little while, he comes back with a plate filled with various assortments of meat you cannot at a glance identify, steaming hot as he leaves the kitchen, and yet you cannot help but notice that once it is set down onto the table, it is significantly colder than it was.
So first of all, can I roll lore everything to identify what this animal once was?
Oh god, okay, I was thinking what animals it would be.
For frick's sake.
Sure, go. Well, I'm such a fan of fancy animals.
Alright.
There's a lot to choose from. That's all I know.
15.
It's Darmal.
It's Dommel. Nice. Alright. And now it's no longer steaming?
No. As on account of him being an ice elemental, everything he touches gets a little colder. You get the sense he's not very practiced at this. He doesn't get much opportunity to do so.
I'm starting to see why he has a hard time having customers.
Let me help with that.
But
I would like Balta to put 2 fingers on the meat, and then if the DM will allow it, intuitive magic, use thunder to put an electrical current through it to heat it back up again.
Using an electrical current,
it does generate heat.
Roll me a d4.
Okay. 3.
You'd manage just fine. You don't somehow manage to fry the meat, shatter the plate beneath it.
There you are.
Impressive. I thank you. I
course.
fear my frames may have incinerated the table along with it, so...
That's why I did it.
And then he gets down to eating it.
While that is going on, Ari, could you join me in the whisper room?
Let me give Ari the permission for that really quick, and while you two are going into the whisper room, I will AFK for a minute to get myself something to snack on, because all this talk of meat has made me hungry.
Is Ari currently
Sorry.
present? I see she is muted.
That's a good question. Well, I'm choking on my drink. Give me a sec.
Yep, well, regardless, I'll be right back.
Alright. Ari, are you there?
Hello? Hello, hello?
Oh, FNAF this. God damn it.
She is the typing.
Would it be okay if you just unmute yourself to speak for what's to come and then mute yourself again? Or leave it unmuted, I don't really mind for this. Alright. In that case, join me in the Hall of Whispers. Alright. Ari. You, or rather Freya Crescent, find yourself arriving in a stream of prismatic energies on a hillside overlooking a vast city you already know to be Amarant. The crystal tower of its center gleaming high into the sky as the sun begins to set and night slowly creeps in. Next to you, atop his steed, is Odin, the god of earth and war. He looks down at you. You imagine behind his helmet, frowning. This is the location. The rest of the Inquisitorius are already within. Given the time of day, I would not be surprised if you would find them in a local inn getting situated. Can you find your way?
I have my days.
You are, I need not remind you, a creation of my brother and a murderer. The only known creation of Diabolos, even with Phoenix's assistance. The stigma attached to you is not going to vanish overnight. I hope you are prepared to handle whatever may come. I do not wish for any unforeseen misunderstandings. Understood?
Mm-hmm.
Very well. It is your father's crystals that infest this land. Your knowledge of the darkness, your attunement to it, may be vital to this investigation. But he was your father. If you have any concerns, let us sort them now, before it is too late.
I have nothing.
No objections to potentially working against the influence of your deceased sire?
No, I just have nothing to say.
You will find the deities rest in the eastern districts. If you get lost, you can ask the locals. Wait for them there if they are not already present. They will surely arrive anon. You are unlikely to depart until this is finished.
Understood.
In that case, I shall not keep you. The night is going to be long, and I hope you, creature of shadow, thrive in it, in service of the light. And with that, he raises his blade back into the air, and that same prismatic glow of the Bifrost crashes down onto him and Slipnir, vanishing, leaving you alone on this hillside. And are you heading towards the Deity's Rest Inn, or are you doing anything else?
I have nothing else. I don't think Freya put out anything else, so she might as well go to the inn at this point.
In that case, you make your way, no problem. You have to ask around a bit. Make me a quick inquiry check. See how fast you get there.
So, waiting.
Inquiry, just asking around the locals, trying to find the Deity's Rest.
Okay. So roll the amount of inquiry I have,
Yeah, 2d6 plus the amount of inquiry.
which is 5. Jeez.
You are a very persuasive individual.
Yes, I am. Because succubus are very persuasive.
Yeah, like you notice a lot of the city's population are like humanoid draconic people, like Dragonborn from D&D. And when they see you, it's a mix of fear and strange arousal.
14.
Well, that's definitely enough. You have these people just at your beck and call. Like you have a small crowd leading you straight to the Deity's Rest Inn. Like, yes, my lady, sorry, over in, my lady. And before long, you arrive to find a group of individuals inside and a dragon nose deep in a plate of various meats. Let's head back to the main chat.
And I'm level 73 at the moment.
Oh, nice.
Oh. Welcome back.
Hello, is everyone present?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so, Arcane, while you are enjoying this recently recooked lump of meat, the door to the inn opens up, and a very strange individual is led inside by a small group of draconic admirers who are at her beck and call.
Oh dear.
Ari, would you like to describe yourself?
Okay. By describing this individual that Ericane is seeing, she is. I need to call up her phone because I don't know how I'm freaking.
It's okay.
Pale. She is a pale, woman with silver hair, but braided on her. Braided with braids on her around her head. Oh my god. And how should I say? And very I don't know how to get to color. Like a burgundy dress along with armor on her. And she looked, obviously by her admirers, attractive.
Yeah, there's like 5 dragonoids leading her in. Like, yes, my lady, this is it, my lady. We have service to you, my lady.
Oh dear God.
Hurricane's eyes are switching at this and wondering the fuck.
As you can see, she also has a smile of amusement in her face. And obviously, she has markings on her face. And she's looking around before seeing the group. Well, mostly Eric. That intrigued her most.
You all
And
can.
also,
till you finish.
Which also caused her to wink at him. Because he was looking at her.
Aside from her promiscuity and mysterious nature, you can all definitely get a read of a dark aura emanating from this character. If any of you would like to roll history checks.
I will roll lore everything.
Because red mage.
Can
Oh,
I do the same actually too?
Go for it.
13.
Yeah, you're fine. Nate?
Excuse me.
Now, for just the lore or anything, is it specific number or is it just...
It's what I mean, as a red mage, I have access to lore everything. What job are you?
Red mage?
Oh, well, then you just roll the skill you have in lore everything.
Which you have, if I look, lore everything. You have lore magic, lore history, lore monsters.
Okay, so
History is what you'll want, so 5.
5, okay.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Also, remember, if you all need them, you all have notes and notepads in the drop down.
Yep, I've got that.
11. Yeah, you only did a 10. Because most people alive probably know Freya Crescent, the lone creation of Diabolos, the god of darkness who betrayed and murdered Phoenix, who herself had a small hand in Freya's creation. What do you do?
Balta will cork an eyebrow. I'd assumed there would be another member of our little posse, but I hadn't thought it would be you.
Freya?
Is Frey gonna say anything to what I just said?
Imagine there's people in the room.
Sorry, I would have to get in my other headphone.
It's all good.
Okay, can you repeat that? I didn't hear you.
Alright. What Balta said was, I was expecting there to be another member of our little posse, but I wasn't expecting it to be you.
Aren't we all full of surprises?
Well,
By the way, the admirers are still there, just waiting for the next command, essentially. Is there anything else we can do for you, my lady?
She just waves her hand just to dismiss them. No. Go away, please. In private, please.
They all look crestfallen as they hang their heads low and meander out the bar.
Shameful.
so do you just have a cult that follows you around, or are you just really persuasive?
I would say persuasive.
More manipulative, if you ask me.
We just met.
And I already have bad feelings.
I wonder what kind.
None that you would like.
Oh, too bad.
More
You best hope-
distractions.
What was that, Tarkus?
More distractions.
Well, all the same. Well, I am Balta Braith, a arbiter of Ramu's will in other locations when he is otherwise occupied.
She just looks at him. Pleasure.
These are Arcane, Yone, and Tarkus.
He kind of looks at both of them. Quite, how should I say, entertaining scene.
Entertaining.
So, she is so different from Kayana. I love it.
I mean, I do play a succubus after all. I have my own succubus that darkness knows me.
Well,
I play it very well.
all the same, what do you know of the situation?
Just here and there, but I've often black out at the situation. All I know is that with crystals.
As we are currently given to understand it, there's been some sort of stirring in the darkness under the ground. But that shouldn't be possible. And it's been taking the form of these amber crystals that have been growing out of the soil. There have been rumors of strange creatures accompanying them, but we haven't seen anything of the sort yet.
Interesting.
Have you any insights?
No, not that I'm not heard of. I just know about the crystals and nothing else.
I see.
I will say, Freya, ever since coming to this area, being particularly attuned to the darkness, you can feel it. Like, it is particularly pungent in this area. More than it really should be in such close proximity to something like the Crystal Tower. And you can almost roll for me just 2d6.
Oh god. 9.
It feels familiar.
And you see just Freya just thinking about it as she kind of looks down at the table before she spoke. But it feels familiar to me.
Well, all the same. Once our work here is wrapped up, assuming there's no objections, I was under the impression we were going to head directly to the Circus Tower and get a full detailed briefing on what else we need to know.
At this point, you hear the ice elemental behind the bar, who you haven't seen before, Freya, and probably hasn't really given much attention to up until this point. Alban just go, well, now that we have new introductions, before you head to the Circus Tower, I would at least head up to Dara's Supply, unless you are confident in what you have brought along with you. You know, if you're going to be fighting big monsters, I wouldn't want the princess to chip a nail.
Duly noted.
Hey, you make sure you look after her, you hear me? Shiva would be... well, they're close, so, you know.
I'll do what I can.
Good.
Hurricane, are you done eating?
Yeah, I currently lost my appetite.
Could you lean back a little bit from the mic? You're peeking all over the place.
My god.
Yes, I.
You don't need to growl directly into it to make your voice more intimidating.
Growl.
No.
Oh.
No, don't please no.
I'm fiddling out with my freaking audio at the moment.
It's all good. Anyway, yeah, you sound fine. Now. So, no objections to us moving on then?
If you got nothing else, then you are free. Where are you going?
Well, if there are no objections, I would say probably a good idea to hit the supply. If we think that would be a good idea, simply on the grounds that the elemental person told us we probably should, just to see what they have to offer.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
All right. So I've been there before, right?
Yeah, you know the way.
All right.
Like, you lived here, so
Right.
you've been in a fair few places.
Okay. Then
So-
I will guide the party there.
Yep. Leaving the meal behind for Alban to clean up, you head back out into the streets, plus one brand new party member who seems to be attracting a fair bit of attention as you go. Various creatures, more dragonoids, a few more elementals like Alban, a couple of beings not unlike Luna Freya, a couple like you, Bolter. Just various eyes following Freya, some in recognition and perhaps fear, revilement. Others need to have their tongues put back into their mouths by other nearby passers. Like, you get the sense she is an extremely controversial figure. You love her or you hate her. And it doesn't take much mental gymnastics to realize where some of the hatred comes from and the association she might have with a certain individual.
Right.
She has no control over it.
Either. But you proceed along well enough. And unless there's anything else you want to do along the way, you enter a building, finding what almost seems to be a storefront, just a moderately sized space, a desk at the end, one door to the right, one door to the left, a few dragonoids walking back and forth, and one female standing behind the counter, kind of leaning against it, almost bored. Then she sees you. Ah, Bolter. It has quite some time it has been, has it not?
Indeed it has. Let me just double check the things I know.
It is Dara. She runs this place.
All right. Had a good rapport with this one, I take it.
Yeah, I mean, you had a good rapport with many people. You weren't exactly a controversial figure like some people in your party right now.
I'll give Dara a smile. It's been too long indeed. If only I were here not on business.
Come now. Whenever you're in here, it's always on business. Speaking of, who are your friends?
A group assembled to help investigate the recent occurrences with these strange crystals.
Right, we've been getting some oddities about that. So long as it doesn't enter the city and disrupt things. Also, rumors of creatures. Know anything about it?
That's what we're here to find out. We haven't received a full, in-detail briefing yet. We're going to be receiving that once we make it to the tower. We figured we'd stop by here first, though. See what would be on offer. And what we might need.
Yeah, well, you know the deal. Standard provisions for anyone coming and going into the field. 5 potions each. Standard. Unless you give me reason otherwise.
I have no objections.
Alright. In that case, if there's nothing else to be said, everyone is going to receive 5 standard healing potions to their inventories.
Yee.
Ooh.
That brings me up to 10 potions.
Nice.
Y'all are fucking quiet.
We're just enjoying this.
I'm glad that much, at least.
Okay. So that would, for me, be 6, right?
You had 1 potion, then yeah, that you had 6.
I had to do math for a second, even though I just got out of shopping.
The Tarkus, how many does that bring you to?
How many potions?
Yeah.
5.
Alright.
Everybody gets 5, right?
Yep, everyone gets 5 normal potions. Keone, how many do you have now?
15.
Damn.
You have a lot.
Okay.
So yeah, you receive 5 potions. That should do you then, for the time being. Little scrapes if you need anything a bit more major, you come back with missing limbs. Do make sure you, 1, wipe up the blood first before tracking it everywhere, and 2, come here quick so you don't bleed out.
We have a dragon. If any of us loses limbs, we can just cauterize the wounds.
Not
Yep.
exactly ideal when you can have our remedies, but
It's better
You
than
do
tracking
you.
blood all over your floor and dying of blood loss.
I suppose there is that. Just don't make sure he doesn't track any embers in here either. Some flammable stuff in here. There's been a few crates in and out.
Very well then. Well, we should probably be on our way then. Zande's waiting.
Alright. So if you're heading for the wall, is there anything else anyone else wants to do while they're in here?
Nope.
Can't think of anything.
And I can think of it.
Just accidentally created a party of loners with one old guy just leading the charge.
Yeah. Fiona, are you doing anything or are you just still noting in your book?
Mm-hmm.
Alright then.
Hopefully we'll
In
be
that-
more chatty with each other next time.
In that case, with your 5 potions in hand, you can begin to head towards the Crystal Tower, if that is where you're going.
I see no reason to go anywhere else at present.
Okay.
Circus Tower.
Me changed my page and my notes, past all of that stuff. Okay. And... music. Upon heading towards the Crystal Tower, you, Bolter, know that you first need to pass through another structure that surrounds its circumference. A place called the Labyrinth of the Ancients. A vast complex that was first designed to harness the tower's gathered darkness and mold its interior into myriad forms, much like the true tower creation does now. However, since the tower's decommissioning from its original purpose and changed it to what it is now, the interior of the labyrinth is static, unchanging. And it houses many of the research labs used by the city's residents towards the tower's main purpose and project. Though, as you are led through by one of the individuals working there, and Bolter, who already knows his way, you find it hard to believe that this would contain any kind of research labs, because in sheer contrast to the clean technological prowess of the rest of the city, the inside of this place you would find much more comfortable arcane. Stone, rivers of lava just freely flowing, bridges across. The heat here is unbearable, especially for you, Hyone, being an ice elemental. Like, the sweat coming from your brow. If Albon was in here, he'd probably just melt entirely. It is perilous, especially considering the lack of railings.
Feels like home.
However, soon enough you are led through the winding corridors by one of the resident researchers, and you find yourself in the courtyard between the Labyrinth of the Ancients and the tower. Fairly plain, various pathways, cultured gardens, a few trees and plants here and there, some various earth elementals tending to them, just going about their business, not really paying much mind to you, except for occasionally perhaps Freya. So heading up the crystalline steps towards a vast set of doors, you find yourself in a vast lobby, shining crystal underfoot, various tapestries of purple, gleaming blues. The light in this place is radiating. Freya, you went from feeling just an influx and general miasma of darkness everywhere to in here. It's uncomfortable for you. The amount of light just permeating the air. The ether is very clearly aspected towards the astral.
Yeah, I see Freya's uncomfortable face.
You, Hione, oddly feel a bit more comfortable, though, with ice being fairly closely aspected to light as it is. Being quite static in its nature. And as you enter, in front of quite the ornate staircase heading up for what you imagine is such a lengthy climb, that you do note there is a technological elevator that can also carry you up if you so wish. You see Zonde and Luna Freya, seemingly in quiet discussion before they witness you come in. Ah, Balta and the Inquisitorius. I was not expecting you tonight. Oh, I understand you made a visit to Dara Supply and good old Alban.
Indeed. We figured it would be a good idea to figure out exactly what it is we're doing before we tucked in, so we could have more time to plan our next move.
Prudent. Perhaps you might find some help in academia in the future, but we are relieved to finally get towards the solution to our present problem. His eyes then drift towards you, Freya, the new person in the midst of the Inquisitorius. You, I know, Freya Crescent. Creation of Diabolos, the one, the only. You aren't going to make yourself a problem for me, are you?
Oh no, I won't, I promise.
Sorry, what was that? You cut out for a second.
I won't, I promise.
He seems unconvinced, though. Luna Freya steps forward. Child of Diabolos though she may be, that is exactly why we need her help. She is the closest thing we have to an expert on the darkness, after all. Isn't that right, Miss Crescent?
Mm-hmm.
So, stop frowning.
She kind of gives like a little grin.
See? Everyone is friends here, so stop frowning. And perhaps we can get into the unpleasantness of this all. Tell me, Bolter aside, what do you all know of the project in this tower?
I think the silence speaks for itself.
I see. In that case, perhaps Bolter would like to give the rundown.
Very well. In brief, ever since this tower was decommissioned from its purpose as a prototype for the Tower of Creation, it for a long time just sat idle. Then, more recently, it's been repurposed and Amarat's intentions directed towards a new project, one conceived of by Seraph and Alexander as something of a pet project. Namely, the creation of a new type of life form, separate from us. We are tethered. We're bound to our creators, the gods that command us. We can't disobey them even if we were to try. Least, as so far as I can tell. Thus far, there's yet to be a meaningful example of disobedience. But Seraph and Alexander have been curious about potentially creating something more free-spirited, something independent. I can't claim to understand their reasons behind it, but Ramu suspects that it might be on the grounds that, well, the rigidity that has sort of overtaken our lives of late and recent millennia may have been part of what drove Diabolos to do what he did. Creating something
Personally-
more...
Personally, at least this is my opinion, I cannot speak for my lord, but when it comes to our kind, we are few, complex. The life we seek to create would be plentiful, where we could create dozens in so many years, they could be thousands more. Life, culture, civilization.
And they could develop without the guiding hand of the gods. They could exist in isolation if they so needed to. Free to forge their own destinies, without having to rely on our creators.
So maybe with a bit of help here and there. I understand in academia they are working on some kind of mining golem for a group of diminutive creatures that we are working on towards the north of the continent.
Well, regardless, I don't believe you at all conceived of a name for this new type of life when I left. Have you thought of one?
Mortals of myriad forms. I mean, they are as varied as you or I. We have chosen various creatures that we saw as the most promising, taken samples of their population, experimented with their etherical composition, created genomes, a kind of burst of ether, aspected and mixed just right that could nudge them in the right direction when infused. We've had some successes, some explosions, but I feel like we're close. But the rise in darkness threatens what we are so close to achieving. The ambient ether, I'm sure some of you have at least felt it. At so crucial a juncture, we cannot allow any interference. So, I would quite like you to find the source of this amber, whatever or whoever it is, and kindly tell them to stop in whatever manner you seem fitting.
Very well. Do you have a starting point you can point us towards? We're not going to get very far if we're groping blind.
Perhaps you can speak to some of the individuals at a NIDA. The amber crystals in the fields would be another obvious juncture. There are already some individuals I have sent to scope them out, but nothing has come of that so far. Aside from that, investigate as you deem fit. That is why you are here, and I have much more on my plate. I have a city to run. If you want to talk about the project directly, you speak to Luna Freya. That is her purview. I am happy to do so. Director Zonde, I can take it from here. So be it. If you need me, you know where to find me. And with that, Zonde begins to ascend the stairs rather briskly. You get the sense that this is a man with a lot of weight on his shoulders, and you particularly would know this, Bolter, having spent a lot of time with him in the past. And as he departs and vanishes from sight, and as Tarkus goes to the bathroom where he stands,
Hades went AFK.
yes, he did.
I like how literally everyone but you and I is muted right now.
I'm here, it's just my throat's hurting and I'm coughing.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Luna Freya Up until this point, you've seen her quite jovial, light-hearted, friendly. Like those glistening orbs just speaking of an innocence to them. As Zande departs, you see her facial expression drop. And she bites her lip, clearly showcasing very, very deep concern. There's more than Zande knows. I couldn't bear to tell him, not now. I don't know what he'd do.
Speak freely.
I don't know how it happened. That fear he had of interruption at this crucial juncture, it's already happened. Just the previous day, I studied our nearly completed genome in a central release chamber, and I don't know. Come with me. And she leads you all towards the elevator unless you have anything else to do.
Balta will,
Beckoning you to hurry.
Balta will give the others a concerned glance and then quickly move to follow Lunafreya.
Yep.
Alright. The elevator is quite large, clearly meant to cater to all kinds of shapes and sizes and individuals, noted by the dragon in your midst. She activates a nearby control panel and shifts it to take you down to the sub-level. Upon arriving, you find yet more crystalline corridors, ornate decoration, everything you might expect from the Crystal Tower, in all its regality. There are others down here, mostly light elemental-based creatures, much like herself, and all of them have very nervous energy about them. Something definitely is amiss, and as you continue on, she eventually takes you to a massive chamber. You get the sense at the very central base of the tower. Pillars mark the left and right, holding up the ceiling. Ahead of you is a large glass wall, a small box-like control room in its center, and beyond, various glass canisters containing swirling lights that you, Balta, from your experience in the earliest days of the project, know to be the etherical genomes that she mentioned. Do you know what this is?
These are the genomes you mentioned. And I will squint at them. Do I see anything wrong with them?
You see the various swirling like a majestic ballet of various etherical signatures. Every single element is in there, but most dominatingly, light. And yet, as you watch for a few seconds, make an awareness check, actually.
That's what I was waiting for. Okay, so that will be a 1 and a 4 plus 8, so 13, I think.
Yeah, it's fine. You see, almost like a bolt of lightning, but dark. Jolts of darkness just shoot across the genome and then recede. Another one, gone. Another one. And it's in all of them.
If this contamination has already started, then things should be halted to prevent it from spreading.
That's the thing, like, as far as I can tell, it's not spreading so much. Like, contamination shouldn't have been. These genomes are our most complete examples. What we were planning so soon to potentially release into the world. And it has taken so much effort and research to get it to this point. The light you see within there, that's not just any light ether. It's my lord, Seraph. His light, his essence, has been gifted so much of himself. Has been put into these mortals. It has taken its toll on him. And now, the balance has been careful. Equal amounts of fire, earth, ice, darkness, light being the glue that holds it all together, the most dominating facts. To speak to the mortal's purity. Admittedly, there are some advantages to an increase in darkness. These genomes and the mortals created from them would be far more adaptable, perhaps capable of breaking their limits in unexpected ways.
And having
But-
a much stronger sense of self-identity and free will.
Yes, but unmitigated, and in the levels that it's at, it would also leave them far more susceptible to outside corruption, which was what we were trying to avoid.
Do you have
Hatred,
any idea?
war.
Do you have any idea where this corruption came from? How it got in?
No. The fact that it got here in the most secure part of this facility of the tower, shielded by wards and security, it could only have been introduced by somebody. Someone with enough clearance and importance to get down here.
It couldn't have come through the floor, perhaps? The amber has been rising from the earth.
I mentioned the wards. Do not underestimate the tower, you should know. This place, the light gathered in these walls.
I'm not underestimating the tower, but I'm also being sure I don't underestimate our opposition. Every base needs to be covered.
In our attempts to scour for these crystals, we haven't seen any in the city itself, only in the fields outside. I'm working to repair the damage before Zande finds out, or worse, my Lord Seraph, or even Alexander. But if someone is working against us, then it is not safe within the tower itself. And I would ask you investigate some of the other labs here, some of the other less complete genomes. I haven't been able to inspect them all, so I do not know how far the corruption has spread. I would ask you start there and find any evidence you can as to who might have been behind this. Please. This project is... It means everything to Seraph, and though it means everything to me.
That is why we're here.
Thank you.
Gonna just cast my eyes around the room itself, like over that control room, just to see if there are any notable signs of tampering.
Make an awareness check.
Alright, and I'm gonna add a destiny point to it.
Hurricane's just having a closer look at the one he does expected, pretty much.
I'm gonna roll it in roll 20 because numbers big.
Hurricane's looking at what, sorry? And I'll get to you in a minute, Bolter.
Well, I mean, that's a critical success.
Yes, it is a critical... Jesus, now I have to think of something. Okay.
But yeah, I was just saying he was looking at the one Boulder just looked at, pretty much.
Well, alright. So, Arakin is watching you work, Bolter, as you idly make your way into the control room and start examining. And at first glance, you see no signs of tampering, though you do note, based on the clearance level required, that this is sophisticated technology designed by Alexander himself. And this console in particular, you realize that this console is what will activate the entire system and disperse the genomes throughout the entirety of Eno. For someone to activate this console, they have to be one of the most... among the highest of echelons in the city, the inner circle. No random creation could have wandered in here, even most of the researchers, and done this. Whoever did this has the run of the tower, and no one would stop them.
I'll come back out. Has the hierarchy and the list of people working here changed at all since last I was here? Specifically at the
No.
highest ranks?
No, there's myself, Sunday, and Academia Nida, there's Hythlodeus. Some of the people working with him. It's everyone that's been here since the start. I mean, Zande keeps a very tight ship here. He doesn't want untrusting eyes, especially there.
Well, we'll need to speak with Hythlodeus at some point regardless.
You can normally find him in the Academia. I mentioned the golems earlier. That's his pet project. He's been rather excited about it. I don't know. Perhaps he's a strange one, my brother. But
He's a good friend, if a little cheeky.
that I know too well.
Well, it's the same.
So, Zonde did mention Anida and the crystal structures, but I would ask you start here in the tower.
Very well. And I will look past Lunafreya to Freya. Freya.
Yeah, she's like kind of still uncomfortable, but she turns to look at him.
You are elementally aspected to darkness, yes?
Yes.
Meaning you can sense it if that energy is close.
Mm-hmm.
And real quickly, are there other chambers for the genomes, or is this the only one?
This is the central chamber for the final product, what intends to be released into the world. Like, what is behind that screen? For every single species, that should be it. You know there are other labs around with less complete genomes, prototypes, failed experiments. The various steps to getting to this point. It wasn't all conducted here.
Right. Somehow, some way, it would have needed to be someone of a very high rank to inject that shadow into these genomes. I can only think of a handful of individuals who would have that kind of power, and I wager that if they carried that with them, it would leave a mark, a stench perhaps, something you might be able to detect. It's beyond my power to detect darkness on an intimate level, but it is within yours. As we're going through things, I humbly ask that you pay very careful attention to everyone we're talking to. And if you detect any out-of-place traces of darkness, please let the rest of us know as soon as we're clear.
He nods in agreement as she is still uncomfortable because of what she thinks. She's still trying to keep her cool after being uncomfortable. She's like, got it.
And just to make sure that we don't get a false flag, do you think you might be able to scan around a little bit in this chamber? See if you can pick anything up.
Right.
Anything you could do.
Kind of operating off of the same principle as to
Yeah.
perhaps use an uncharitable example, a bloodhound sniffing out smells and differentiating them.
She is the expert. This is why we wanted her. We're relying on you, Miss Cinder. I don't know why I keep calling you Crescent. You're Freya Cinder.
It's okay.
Oh, because Freya Crescent is a character from Final Fantasy IX.
Somewhere far away, a sad dragoon rat lady lifts her head. What?
Yeah, that's why I keep calling you Freya Crescent. So Freya Cinder is so close. I keep having Crescent in my head. So yeah. Miss Cinder.
Okay. Do I need to roll? And what number?
What are you trying to do specifically, Freya?
Of what he acts? Like, is it role based or?
I mean, tell me, what exactly are you doing? Are you looking around? Are you trying to attune to the ether around you?
Around.
Just looking around.
But like knowing about dark stuff, I don't know, because of what he acts.
I was basically asking, sense around. If you sense darkness, let us know and keep it memorized.
I'm almost sense for nature just to shake it up, but I think awareness just still makes sense. So another awareness roll.
Okay, an awareness roll?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm gonna look through my damn thing.
With Hades, you back from the bathroom yet? Reference?
Oh, yeah.
Good, good. I take it Tarkus is just still standing sentry,
Mm-hmm.
and he only is sketching this chamber.
More
16.
16?
Yeah, it says 16 right there.
That's a really good roll. Man.
It's one
Okay.
short of a critical success.
If you got a critical success, I would have had problems. But you know, sensing around is difficult because in this chamber, the light is blinding to you. Like, it's overwhelming to your senses as someone who's generally averse to it. Yeah, like, you're not having a good time here. Though you do feel the faintest bit of shadow in this chamber, though whether it's from the vats, a lingering sense, you can't really tell. It's being drowned out quite quickly. But there is something.
Yeah, so basically there is a shadow. It's just that it's too the light is kind of blocking it.
Yeah, it could be from the genomes themselves and their corruption. It could be a lingering scent. You can't really tell. And it's only because of the high roll you're getting anything at all surrounded by this amount of light.
Yeah, she's kind of still struggling as she has her eyes closed, just trying to figure it out. But you know, the light and everything just kept blocking her as she's like holding her head now, just in frustration, like, oh. She's like, too much light. I can't.
Unfortunate, but all right.
So
But there is something. A light, like a bit of shadow. It's just that there's too much light here. I can't get a grasp in it.
I apologize. We should have taken that into consideration.
It's fine.
I should depart before, well, Sandy gets wind of all this.
One last question, Lunafreya, before you depart.
Anything.
It has been some time since I've seen my brother, but you have worked with Zande for quite a long time. Yes?
Almost as long as I've existed.
Then I would assume you know him very well.
Better than most. Maybe
And
yourself aside.
And considering the research that goes on here, some of it is volatile, I should think.
I did mention explosions, didn't I?
You did. And that says to me that there would have been additional occasions besides this, where Zande would have been under pressure.
He's always under pressure. You saw him.
I know. But more than the status quo.
When it comes to what goes on down here, the research, the genomes, he has given me leave to take the reins for the most part. Mostly because he has so much stress on his plate already. Whenever incidents have occurred, he has gotten involved, yes. When a research subject mutates more than we intended, maybe breaks his confines, he might get involved to help contain the situation, but usually he's happy to let me figure things out.
But in those prior circumstances, has his behavior been the same as it is now?
He's a very tough man to read. But I haven't noticed anything different, and if he has something more on his mind, he hasn't shared it with me.
Very well. I worry for him.
I know. So do I.
Keep an eye
That's
on
why I
him.
don't want. Don't tell him about this. He
I
would
won't.
panic.
I won't. But do keep your eyes on him. And if you see something wrong, out of place, let me know immediately.
I will.
All right.
I'm glad for your return, Balta. I just wish it could have been under happier circumstances, perhaps. The culmination of our work.
Me as well. That will have to wait, though.
She nods. And then departs the chamber entirely.
Well then. We have multiple avenues in need of exploring, multiple leads to follow up on. We start here in the tower, I should think. See what we can find out.
Okay. Where are you going? What are you doing?
Well, if I may pop in my 2 cents here. For one
Go
thing,
for it.
we did start very late.
Yeah.
The start was mired by technical issues.
Yep.
Ari didn't get to join us till late, and Mystic is absurdly tired and also sick.
Not tired, just can't speak with my throat hurting so
Right.
bad right now.
I feel like, given where we just got, I feel like it might be prudent to have this be the end of session 1 and get back to it next week when we're all feeling a little more 100%.
If that's what everyone wants, we can cut it a bit short. It's been 2 hours, I think.
Yeah, about 2 hours, 7 minutes, and 55 seconds by my recording's estimate. I simply say it because I have noticed that we don't seem to be operating at full cylinders right now, and given this is a short adventure, the more time in it we're at full cylinders, the better. And I want to make sure your first time as a dungeon master is a good experience.
Indeed, that would be fun.
Depends what everyone else wants.
I
Opinions?
mean, I don't mind.
I'm fine with continuing however you'd like.
Ardis, Ari.
Yeah, I don't mind.
I don't mind doing whatever anybody else wants.
Well, I do have an ending spot in mind if we can press on for a bit longer.
Okay.
That's right with you, Tone?
All right.
Because I did have a... Well, we're going past where I thought we would be already because of what you guys did. But I do have an ending spot in mind for this session. So what are you guys doing?
Well, Lunafreya asked us to examine the tower.
So probably
the
do
tower,
the
I
best
guess.
that we can.
Thing is, I'm not exactly sure how to conduct our search in the tower at present. Only thing I can think of is to maybe run a search for any signs of amber infestation somewhere.
Hmm.
But the-
If you want to give a scour of the tower looking for anything strange, not obviously in the realm of normal, I would have you all either roll an awareness or an inquiry check, because there are other researchers around here and who might know something.
I'll do awareness.
Awareness is my highest.
I'll do awareness. I
Both,
guess.
both inquiry and awareness are.
The big knight armor is actually doing something.
Yay!
Well,
So Mystic, was that awareness?
Yes.
Oof, I did not roll good.
I rolled a 14 on awareness.
On
The old man's
awareness.
been leading. He can take a break for now.
Yes, Volta has been spearheading a lot. Alright, so...
That's part of why I called for maybe ending early, because I feel like I've kind of just
Well-
been stealing the spotlight.
Well, like I said, I have an ending point in mind. It's coming up fairly shortly.
Yeah.
So continue. So you got a 17, Arcane?
A 14.
14, and that was awareness or inquiry?
Awareness.
Alright, so Hades, you fail either way.
Ouch.
Mystic,
This
that
one's
was
dumb.
Mystic, that was awareness. So you just don't succeed. Bolter, you're dead on. And Ari and Arcane, you
I
guys
haven't
are.
done.
Yeah.
I haven't done anything yet. It's
Oh.
just that I was just
I was looking-
look,
I was-
trying to figure out what if I want to do awareness or inquiry.
I was looking at your 16.
I'd go for your highest.
They're
So,
both
you-
high.
Oh. So,
Awareness is good for spotting things. Inquiry is good for questioning people. Just thematically, I feel like inquiry might work better for you, but you do you.
You know what inquiry? Forget.
Right?
Be the odd one out.
I mean, last time Freya rolled Inquiry while we were doing Whispers, you managed to get a cult following you, so...
so that was that
I didn't
about.
make a mistake.
She rolled really high on her Inquiry check to find where you guys were, so I kind of had a troop start following her.
I mean, she is quite attractive for a freaking succubus.
Or a succubus, that's the point of a succubus.
Even though I have one as an OC, but okay.
Unless you've seen the one from Overlord.
Oh boy.
Oh, pedo.
No, I have. Oh my god. Yeah, do inquiry. Yeah. 7.
Oh.
You were, as you were going on, you start to ask people. However, you very quickly just get absorbed in their admiration. You don't get any information. They're too busy giving you compliments.
Or she just still has that damn headache.
Yeah, that doesn't help. But you were distracting yourself with the heaps of praise that these light elementals are giving you after you blink your eyelashes at them a few times.
And
But-
she's just like is annoyed by now.
Annoyed. I figured she'd like all that.
Yeah, it's mostly a love-hate for her, because she likes being complimented, but there's times where it just gets annoying.
Because it's getting in
It's
the way of
really
other things.
paparazzi.
Yes.
It's like being a celebrity.
I have to protect my image!
You're just trying to eat a sandwich at
Yep.
a cafe somewhere and you've just got a crowd watching you say, he's eating a
Thank you,
sandwich.
Nappa.
But yes, Arcane and Bolter, while the rest are either too distracted or unaware, you scour around a bit, lead around, check from one lab to another, don't really find much until,
Oh.
at long last, you come across a small laboratory just tucked away in a corner where the first thing that's immediately noticeable, 3 vats. One is filled with a genome that seems far more unstable compared to the ones you saw previously. One vat containing some kind of hat creature that you can't quite identify, and a third vat, decidedly broken. As you enter this room, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna look up at the roof.
It's a roof.
Nothing's gonna jump down to attack us.
It's a roof.
There is nothing on the roof at a glance. No.
That was the most best answer I've ever heard.
It's a
Look
roof.
up at the roof.
It's a
It's a
roof.
roof.
All right.
That
Do I?
sounds like
Wait,
something you would
wait.
say, Town.
Wait, I want to look at the floor. What answer do I get?
It's a floor. Which bit of the floor are you looking at?
I don't know. Just being a smart ass.
It's very blue, very cold to the touch, very crystally.
So something that she would like.
So, do I recognize this room from my time here?
There are many rooms like this. This is a small laboratory where various genome combinations and applications to a sample of the creatures in mind would be tested. That creature in there, you can fairly reasonably ascertain, is one of the unsuccessful experiments. Arcane, I see you're over there. What are you doing?
He's expecting it, and he does not like the look of it.
As you're examining it, you see it twitch slightly inside. Like, you get the sense that it's alive, just currently in some kind of stasis. And you find a small tag on it that says subject Mistal.
Is Luna Freya's
Madeline.
token supposed to be with us right now?
It is not, because she did not go with you. Excuse me while I put that on the list.
Yeah, that was Chris.
Oh,
Yep.
Luna's here. Oh, now she's gone.
She is with you in spirit.
Bye, kind of Infilia.
But yeah, from what you know, Bolter, and I won't make you roll for this because you were here at the beginning, the Mistal-based subjects are based on a species of felines that are encountered on a group of islands to the far north.
All right. I'm gonna look at the.
What abomination was created in this?
I'm going to look at the broken canister. Can I ascertain if it was broken from within or without?
Awareness check. Getting used to that today.
Ooh, that is an 18.
Something broke out of here.
Can I tell how long ago?
With an 18, and given that this hasn't been cleaned up or found until now, recently.
Oh, lovely.
Be on alert, everyone. Something broke out of here, and it wasn't long ago.
If it's that pitiful creature in there, I'm not worried.
All the same, the researchers here are not necessarily warriors themselves.
You also note that, aside from the table in the room with various just research papers scattered around, there is a terminal in the corner.
Yeah. Well, I suppose it would mix up the war if I try that.
Figuring I'll check the terminal while other people check the table.
Who's checking the table?
I will.
Hione, roll me a 2d6.
Okay.
And after that, I have got a question for the old DM.
And 8.
Oh.
As you are inspecting the table, you initially see various research papers, nothing particularly out of the ordinary for a laboratory. And then you decide to look under the table.
Oh no.
And
Think
as you
outside
do,
first.
you see crouching down there, squirming, a strange pig-like creature, only has wings on its back. And it sees you. And it goes for you.
Yes.
Oh, never mind. I won't be able to roll a nature check.
We're
to
in
find
combat
it.
now, and it's going to get a surprise round on you.
Porksy!
Great.
Proto-Poxy.
It's a fecking porksy.
What?
Piggy.
Alright, I need to get up. It's,
I just
DQ.
imagine her like looking at she's on the chair at the table and then she just jumps down from the chair and then she's like, oh, just look under the table and just sees that.
Okay,
What?
so it just launches itself at you with a horrific squeal that seems distorted, strangely so, even for a creature like this. It is going to roll to hit you. What is its accuracy? Okay.
Well,
9
I won't be born in that
plus-
nature then.
It's 15 to hit.
Fuck.
Oh, yeah.
It rolled really well. Okay.
It's a surprise attack, so
Like, it just
might
starts
make sense.
flailing at you rather manically, and it does minimum damage, so good for you. 62 points of armor damage.
So whatever your armor is, subtract
Ow.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, so oh goodness.
Your armor score.
Regular armor is 25.
So 62 minus 25, so 52. And... Alright, so 37. So that's only 37 points of damage to you. So just a few scratches and it starts going for you, just panicked and manic. And I'm going to bring up the, if I can remember where it is,
Should
the
look
turn
like,
order.
should look like a clock.
Indeed. I need to really add some things. It's my first time doing this. New DM, who dis?
You're good. You're good.
Doing good.
It appeared after do that. Okay, so it is to your turn. What do y'all be doing?
Can
Feel
I
it.
hit it now?
Yes, you can hit it now.
Yeah, she's mad now.
She's mad. Little girl is mad. What does the little girl do?
I have so many spells. That's the thing.
You do have a lot. We're level 10.
Uh-huh. Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh my
What?
god.
What's wrong?
Honey, this theme's from 3.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, we're in the Crystal Tower.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, it's just bringing back a whole bunch of flashbacks of me playing through 3.
I'm just gonna have her
1, 2,
use
3. You're playing with
Lazara.
3.
Other people have
Lazara.
Other people have Adagio for strings. You have Final Fantasy III's battle theme for your Vietnam flashbacks.
Alright, so you start to use Blizzara, that'll be 20 MP, and that is a slow action. Unless you're going to quick cast, can you quick cast?
Right. Yeah, I have quick cast, I think. Let me see. I think I do.
I say your weapon should
Yeah,
be.
I do.
Are you using it?
Yes.
Alright then, roll me some ice damage.
Ice. From the ice girl.
Makes sense.
I have other spells that are not ice.
I know. I helped you. I helped you pick them.
On the target, I gotta make sure I do that. Okay, so
Yes, she specializes in ice and water.
plus and then power times 5. All the way up. 25.
So that was 31 points of magic damage. Ice has you gain that it has no particular reaction to ice, and its magic armor is. Hang on. So Blizzara is power times 5 plus 2d6.
Yeah,
5. And your power is
5.
5.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, yeah.
The ice hits it and does nothing. You get the sense it has a high magic armor.
This thing has a high magic armor, are you kidding me? It's a freaking pig with wings! What the hell did they make?
So,
Just shy.
so can I go next?
Go
Yep,
ahead.
go for it.
Yep, you called it first. I'd like to go after you.
So, seeing this, Targus just immediately goes, "Finally!"
Oh god.
and just
He's been
stomps his way, probably breaks a few chairs.
You just cast the table aside. Just
I'm assuming you pushed me over too.
High effort research papers that people have poured their hearts and soul into are just
Yeah,
torn
imagine him
asunder.
imagine just like finally just grabbing the table and throwing it.
I'm assuming in that rampage you're pushing me off to the side too.
Probably.
Asshole.
What are you doing?
And need to check my accuracy. My accuracy is 8.
You throw a pig at people and suddenly everyone's come to life.
He gets to hit something and he comes.
I was almost a crit, too.
19 to hit. That most certainly hits, yes.
And now we come to le damage. And this is now just gotta check my
Did damage.
should be a tier 5 weapon. Yes. Where's my weapon? There it is. Yeah, tier 5. Power times 5. Power is 2. This is gonna be good. $104.
Okay, so yeah, 104 minus.
I literally poured almost all his stats into
That
power.
is 79 points of damage to Zipigu. It squeals as you swing at it, leaving a nasty gash across its barrel as it skirts
Hold
back
on.
slightly from you.
Hold on one sec. If I recall, it's a heavy weapon, so shouldn't it have?
You can use heavy weapons
Knockback.
to force a knockback effect with an opposed force roll, but only once per fight.
Oh, okay.
Generally,
yeah,
a good idea to
that.
save that to disrupt a slow action.
Okay, yeah.
Alright.
All right, to me.
Alright, Bolter, you go.
All right, so upon
Okay.
upon seeing that a fight has just broken out in the room, and seeing that Tarkus just tossed aside the table full of notes and research papers that might be useful, and not wanting the crime scene to be too disrupted by the chaos of a fight, so that we can continue our investigation unimpeded, I'm going to snap out my hammer, point it at the porksy thing. Eyes are going to light up sort of a lightning purple, and I'm going to say, "Stop!" and cast Sleep.
Is that an opposed force or finesse check?
I would usually rule it as being finesse on the grounds that it's a magic effect, but you do
And
you.
this is quick cast. You have quick cast?
I
you
have
do.
fast cast as a red mage, so I can just do that as a standard action
you're,
every fucking
you're
time.
a dick and you're broken. You're a DM and know all the tricks. Okay, opposed finesse check. Let's go for this.
Okay.
This should be fun.
That's an 8.
11.
There's no Destiny points to cut anything. So yeah, Ryan, is this an opposed every round or just 4 rounds?
I only do it with stop because otherwise they're like that one's a house rule for stop.
And does it wake up if it takes damage?
In the rulebook, I believe it wakes up if it takes any damage whatsoever.
All right. So the pig,
I
as
can
it's,
double-
as it's recoiling from Tarkus, shifts slightly as it is suddenly hit by just a gentle stream of magic from Bolter Braith, and then just drops to the floor and starts, for the moment, snoozing quietly to itself.
See if we can restrain it so that it can't cause any more trouble. Poor thing looked scared.
As you're approaching it, Arcane, make an awareness check.
Okay. That would be a 10.
You're just marching towards it, you don't notice anything. What are you gonna do?
Oh,
Still in combat for the moment.
alright, so it's still asleep then. Huh.
For 4 rounds.
Yep, for the moment. Speaking of, I should add a timer.
Yes.
Well, it's a bit concerning because I was going to basically swing at it, seeing that magic wouldn't work,
Hang
but
on.
now it's asleep.
Yep, so what are you doing?
Probably be on standby in case it wakes up. So defensive stance or something.
Alright, you are on a defensive stance. We have a shield.
shield, a castle wall. Either of those
Yep.
works.
I got one.
Yee.
Freya, just you.
Okay. Okay. As soon as she saw this thing, what's it called?
Foxy. Oh,
Porksy.
And it's asleep at the moment.
It
But
is.
any form of damage will wake it.
And Balta did call out to restrain it. We don't want to, like, cause any damage, if possible.
Hmm.
So
I think I
not-
Ask, is there anything to restrain it? Because I think Freya would do that.
Yeah. Anakin can't do that because he's big dragon.
I mean, if it's when it's my turn, then oh my god. What is? I have bottomless pockets. I probably can get some like rope or something.
Yeah,
But
probably.
it's when it's my turn again. I think.
The rope lives.
well, for now, it's Freya.
Yeah, that's what I say. I can. Unless she has something.
I was gonna say, can I look around to see if there's any rope?
I
Or
won't
anything-
make you roll for this. There is what you see on the table. There are scattered research papers, a broken desk. Everything that I've already said you see is what you see.
Plus, freaking Hayes' character just freaking made everything a mess, so it made worse.
So he said.
Finally, no talking, smashing.
So he said, "Don't damage the pig." Does that count on probably the massive gash that Tarkus probably put in it?
That was before, to be fair. So you're feeling pretty satisfied with that gash. So is Fred doing anything, or is she going to a defensive stance like Arcane, waiting for the go-ahead?
I
think
don't
she was
know. I
looking
can
for
just see
rope.
Freya just trying. I'm just going to hold it down in case it just goes to way back up. I don't know.
All right,
There you go.
you're absolutely free to do that. Since you're going to be interacting with it,
I don't know.
yeah,
I'm just gonna.
make a finesse check to not wake
Can
it
I
up.
move Freya a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you're, I'll move you right there if you're going to try and hold it down. So make a finesse
Okay.
check to hold it down without waking it up, since you're going to be interacting with it.
Let me see.
The one thing I realized, since this is all like an origin and all, and you mentioned rope, is this the origin where the rope came from?
Oh
Rope
my
is
the
a
first-
tunnel.
It's the first thing I came up with. I don't think there's
Dark.
really much.
Darkness.
Yes.
I have big great sword, and you know what happens with dragons and swords.
If you hit your
They-
mark, yes.
They break off the scales?
Yeah, dragons have got a tough hide still.
I don't know if I have finesse because I don't see it.
Your finesse is, I don't know if I bring up your character sheet. You
Never mind. Because I'm blind.
got it?
Yeah, I got it. I'm blind as hell.
Fine.
Why?
Let's see the finesse.
Yeah, your finesse is 4.
I may have
Roll
I
well.
have glasses, but I'm blind as hell. I may have glasses, but I freaking am blind as hell. 13.
Yeah, you're fine. You hold it down, and it's just snoring away. It actually leans into you a bit, quite comfortable.
Well, you got a pet now.
Which would move us to the enemy's turn. So its counter goes down by 1. And back to you.
Alright. I will use bottomless pockets and pull out a rope and restrain it.
Make a finesse check.
Okay.
Finesse, 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 finesse.
Roll well. Roll well. Roll well.
I am not Aeon, so I should roll well.
There will always be Aeon. There you go.
God damn. Okay, yeah, you restrain it.
She just pulls out a rope out of her owl cloak.
And for the moment, I will stop the combat music.
Mm-hmm.
There, all
Yeah.
tied up like a present.
Alright, so for the moment, it is currently restrained. And... yeah, unable to move. Though it will eventually wake up on its own, depending on how long you take.
Well, I would like to have Gibraltar. The Strait of Gibraltar. I'm going to have Balta come over and give the pig a once over.
Make an awareness check.
*15. 15.
This thing, you notice, is covered in lesions and growths that are quite clearly amber-colored crystals.
Oh dear.
Bum.
Look at it.
Yeah.
This thing has amber growing on it.
It must be purged.
I would agree that the contamination should be removed, but there may be something we can learn from it first.
Only thing I've learned so far, it could easily break out of its cell.
Too dangerous. Might as well put it out of its misery. He just
Just
starts lifting his sword.
Wait, hold on for a second. Freya, is there anything you can glean from this? Anything at all?
You are meant to be toned with the dark arts.
She just goes, guess I can try again. Let's see if this works this time.
Well, I'm not keeping my eyes off that thing for a
It
second.
begins to stir and slowly wake from its slumber.
Can you hit it again with your sleep?
As it does, it begins to get a sense of a situation, and it squeals and starts to thrash against its rope.
I'm gonna try a thing to see if I can calm it down.
Well, first it's making a force check against the ropes.
Okay.
Oh god.
It rolled well. It rolled a 15, so the ropes snap as it's starting to shake and squeal. You see another piece of amber just jut out from its skin and just slice clean through the ropes. I'm going to allow you to quickly do something, Bolter. What are you going to do before it does its next thing?
Well, I was going to attempt a cure spell to try and convey to it that we mean no harm.
You can certainly try.
But seeing that amber growth, expanding like that, I think Balta is going to determine with a grimace of frustration that it's probably not going to happen.
Can Tarkus put his sword down on it now?
Well, right now, Bolter is reacting to it getting free as it's split its ropes and it's starting to do something.
I am going to put my hand on the side of its head, and I am going to cast Shockwave Pulsar.
Oh.
Shockwave Pulsar. Let me bring up your sheet and find that spell.
What the hell is that?
Sounds
That's
fancy.
new to me.
Is that a spell?
It is. I just subtracted the
Shock.
MP for it.
Shockwave Pulsar.
It's the second from the bottom.
Magic armor damage to a single enemy. Alright, go for it.
So my mind times 9. So 107.
107 points of damage, minus 35.
The idea
Really
is
have
that
calculator on.
the idea is that I am basically just trying to very quickly and surgically euthanize it, essentially.
That is 72 points of damage. So as this shocks it, it squeals in pain. That clearly hurt it. It's looking a bit charred, but as it goes, it is really unleashing its release spell, which is a flawless spell, which it can do as a normal attack once, as an instant action. And it is doing Aura just across the entire chamber, releasing just wind throughout. So, everyone is going to take power times 3, since it's going to be a group.
Although, how does defensive stance work again, if you could remind
Well,
me?
that would have faded by now, because you were all relaxed.
Your
Just get rid
defensive
of that.
stance would only decrease incoming physical damage, also, not magical.
So, power 30, 34, 35, 37 points of magic damage to everyone.
I don't take any.
What about everyone else?
Well, you don't take.
I have a magic armor of 50.
I'm weak to wind.
Oh,
So
so you
what-
take double, so that's 60.
No, I only take 50% extra.
Oh, so 37.
37 times 1.5.
Oh dear.
Be 55.
So 55
Right.
points of damage to you, Tarkus. I'm gonna do Tarkus first. That's my magic
Okay.
armor.
I just
said
looked
how
at
much?
mine.
55.
Pardon?
You said how much?
55 points of magic armor damage.
I take 10.
So that's 10 points of damage to Tarkus.
Oh boy.
Alright, Arcane.
Yeah, two things. One, I have an magic armor of 43,
So you take nothing.
and I take 50% less damage from wind?
Well, his father's Bahamut, so yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you take nothing. So Tarkus, you are blasted back ever so slightly, but not much. Kione.
You need magic armor, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
37.
magic armor is 50.
Yeah, so nothing to you. Freya.
35.
So you take 3 points of damage. And I'm going to... So you'll also push back ever so slightly, and I'm going to roll something very quickly.
Oh boy.
Oh god.
So... That's force, so that's... 4 versus... How much force does the pig have? 5? 4. Well, with the pig's plus, that just
Now,
about succeeds. The wind blasts out throughout the entire room. The table is scattered more. The research papers that Tarkus hadn't destroyed are now destroyed. A lot of people's work and dreams have been gone up in smoke today. Congratulations. And then, in the corner, that one... Well, those 2 remaining glass cases shatter
Ah, shit.
from the force of the Aura spell that is casting outwards. So... I'm just gonna quickly just do a squiggle.
It's all good.
A squiggle.
A squiggle. And you see the Mistal fall out of the casing.
Is it hostile?
As it falls out, you see its eyes open. It gets to its feet, and you note the exact same amber gross as on the proto-Hoxie. It's your turn. What are you doing?
These creatures are signed the death warrant.
So
Oh,
yeah, Tarkus is just going to going to push the dragon and Balta out of the way. Just like, I think that one's more your size. I'll take this one.
Alright. Roll an attack.
No response from those two, just being shoved out of the way and told.
Well, he
that
growls at you, and he doesn't like it one bit.
Balta's more focused on the pig.
You can handle the mutant pork. I'm dealing with the bigger prey.
So you're going after the infected Proto-Mithra?
Yep.
15.
15 to hit. That hits. Roll damage.
103.
103 points of damage. It's armor, so 103 minus 5. That's 58 points of damage. This thing. So it takes a big swing from the axe, and the newborn
axe.
essentially just gets struck across with a blade, and it snarls right back at you. Arcane, you were going after it too?
Yep. Let's see. Yeah, it's melee it.
Alright, go for it.
Ah, shit, there goes one of the dice. Let's go. And I'm so glad that was empty. Whatever fell. Ah! Well, it has to be re-roll anyway. Found the other dice. Despite it landed on 6, it was not on view, so... Let's see, that would be... 11.
11 hits, roll damage.
Yeah.
Oh, and actually, I need to.
Oh, it's
What?
12.
Yeah, while you're doing that, I also forgot to need to roll something.
Huh.
I need a 1d4.
Oh, it does not have
counter.
counterattack.
It has counterattack.
Screw you.
Huh. So I rolled 12
It
regardless.
rolled a 4, that's what it needed. So it counterattacks on you, Tarkus, before we get to Arcane.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. Bring it, bitch.
Oh, nearly max damage. Although I'm still doing a pretty impressive amount, because according to this...
13 to hit.
Well, yeah, that hits.
Okay.
So in total that...
Alright.
61 damage?
We'll get to that in a second. It's doing just a basic attack for you, so that is 131 points of damage.
131. My armor is...
Just rakes across you with massive feline claws that are mixed in with shards of amber crawling across them.
My armor is 70.
So 131 minus 70. That's 61 points of damage overall. I'll take that off.
Yeah, it gets me down to 400.
And Arcane, how much damage do you do?
61.
61 points of damage minus armor.
Oh.
So 61.
That is he gonna counter it.
Also see in a second. That's only 16 points of damage.
So it's got
And I need
tough
to roll a
melee
d4.
armor.
I rolled a 2. It does not counter.
Oh.
Alright. Me?
Alright, old man, swing your hammer.
Well, recognizing that shit has just gone all kinds of tits up, Balta is going to let out a little growl, lift his hammer up, lightning's going to gather along it, and I'm going to pop a Thundaga, group target.
Alright.
So that will deal my dex times 8 plus 2d6, if I'm remembering right. Let me double check the rulebook's ruling on Thundaga's damage real quick. Black damage, Thundaga. Yep, dex times 8, which is remarkable because my dex is only 1 less than my mind, so technically my group target Thundaga spell does more than my single target.
Wow.
So, yeah, so this will be...
Also, since it's a lightning spell, it will, the Proto-Porksy will take 50% extra.
Nice. So I rolled an 86.
86 points of damage. I'll do the Mithra first.
For the Porksy, that would become 129.
Alright, so minus 129. Oh, mine's magic armor. I need to do magic armor as well, so give me just a second.
Yeah.
We'll do the Mithra first. So, what was the full damage again?
86.
86. 66 points of damage to the Proto Mithra. And what was the damage to the Porksy?
129 before magic armor.
129. That's 94 points of damage to the Porksy. It did not like that very much.
Oh, I'm sure it didn't.
So yeah, Bolter just slams his axe into the ground and just lightning shoots across the chamber. Far more controlled than the gust of wind the Porksy sent off, just striking into the Mithra and really striking into the Porksy, who's point blank as a full blast. It's looking hurt.
We can't let these things leave this room.
Rayor, Yone, what are you?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Okay, so. This pig thing had high magic defense, or just is it affect the dice?
High magic defense you got compared
Okay.
to physical armor, which it doesn't have because it's a pig.
Okay. Well, I didn't think a pig with wings had magical defense either, but
It's
showed
also
me wrong.
it's also a flying pig that's infused with amber.
The amber's countering it.
These things have been souped up a bit compared to what they should be. Like you, Bolter, you would know, particularly in terms of porks, like these proto porksies, they should not be this aggressive.
Now, if that thing's got a high defensive armor or magic, does that mean the cat one has basically got a high defensive armor of combat, physical attacks, whatever you wish to call it?
You don't know.
We don't know.
I'm gonna go get it as a yes, since I only did like 16 points of damage or something to it.
We
To be
don't know.
fair, Tarkus also is a bit beefier in terms of his anime sword.
I do big damage.
Like, he just hits things. You have spells.
Yes, mother.
Yeah.
Yes.
All y'all boring magic users.
Hey.
Thanks.
So who's currently
Anything
going?
to say to your girlfriend?
Honey.
No, that's fine. I'll take
Honey.
it.
No.
No, I'm boring. Got it.
No. Honey. No.
No, you've sealed your fate. I don't know what to tell you.
I am not sealed nothing.
This feels oddly domestic. Are we complicit if we don't say anything?
Hey, Mystic,
Mm,
I have an idea for you if he does that again.
what?
Because I do this to Darkness. Give him the silent treatment.
Oh no, I've
Welcome
already
to
done
my
that in the
world.
past before.
Well, don't be silent right now. I need to know who's acting next.
Okay,
Okay.
sorry. Okay, so I'm assuming the other thing. Oh my god, this is so
The
frustrating.
Porksy is looking hurt. The Mithra is looking pissed.
Well, I'm sure it is. I'm just gonna hit it with my book.
Paper cut. Mika found it effective. Let's go.
Bonk.
Okay,
I
what
mean,
do
who
you
knows?
what do you need for?
Roll accuracy first if you're just hitting it.
Yes, okay, that's right. Accuracy.
Send the little piggy weeing all the way home.
Goodness gracious.
That hits.
Okay.
Okay.
Now your mind times 5.
My mind times 5, so okay. I need a calculator. Okay. Oops. 2d6. I don't know if I did that right. You said mine times 5?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's an arcane weapon.
No, 21 times 5 is 105. Yeah, I guess that's right.
Your mind is 21?
Yeah. My
Magic
base was
caster.
19, and then I had something that... Oh, my armor! I did an attribute, did 2 mine, so it's 21.
He only is the magic.
I was wondering why your MP was so absurdly high.
He took things. You're not the only one who abused knowledge and systems.
And I didn't realize, too, that I have fast cast as well. I realized that as I was going through my stuff.
Okay, so
There's the
that's
box you get
111.
now.
That's 111 points of magic armor damage. So that's 81 points of damage.
Hey.
As it gets suddenly just like annoyed that your previous attack just did nothing to it. You come over, you close your book, all the notes you've been making in it. You hold it tight and you just smack it in the face, and it looks offended.
It looks offended.
Freya, you're up.
Knowledge.
Wait, what is Freya's weapon?
Hold on.
I mean, I think we've
It's
pretty much
actually
established
a
that she can
dagger.
very much weaponize a
It's a
flutter of
dagger.
her lashes.
Oh, good lord.
Oh, cool, you've had a dagger. Yeah, Heartbreaker.
Heartbreaker.
Succubus.
Heart stabber.
Same thing.
What does the Freya
Yeah, I
do?
might as well use the weapon. Yeah, I'm just gonna use my weapon.
Remember, backstab for its first use in combat. You get extra.
Okay. Oh my god. Okay, how the damn. Okay. Okay, what was the roll again for the attack?
So it's. Let me bring up your sheet. This is backstab. So right now you're gonna be rolling accuracy to hit. Your accuracy is 5. So many sheets I need to balance. Yeah.
Feel my pain.
Mm-hmm. 2d6 plus the accuracy, right?
Yep. And your accuracy's 5. That hits. Yep. And your damage for this first attack will be 2d6 plus 48. Like, as Fiona hits it in the face and it looks offended down at her, you take the opportunity to get behind it and just stab it in the spine.
48, 48, right? So I
Yeah.
don't mess it up.
2d6 plus 48.
57.
57 points of damage. That is 27 points of damage in all. It's looking pretty rough. But this brings us to the enemy's turn. So the Proto-Porksea, looking pretty frightened, it's going to start retreating towards the door,
No.
and then is going to, as one of its abilities, cast. Well, you see a green sphere of energy just materialize around it as it casts Reflect on itself,
Ah, so no more magic.
which goes for 4 rounds. Okay. As for the Proto-Mithra, what shall we do with you?
What shall we do with you?
Okay. First, it's going to go for you again, Tarkus, because you've offended it the most. It's after you. So that is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 to hit. Hits you. Your once is only 6. And that will be 128 points of damage minus your armor.
Which is 70.
So minus 70 HP to you. And then it's going to use a destiny action.
Wait, minus 70.
Wasn't it minus 70 to you? Yeah, that's what you said?
No, I said my armor was 70.
Ah, sorry. So plus 70 back. So your armor is 70. So it was 138 minus 70. So 138 minus 70. That's 68 points of damage. Slightly less.
Slightly less.
And it's going to use its one and only destiny action to start by casting a spell.
No. Our turn.
It is indeed.
Question.
Hmm?
If it is an instant action, I can do it. Like, can I use like multiple instant actions in the same turn?
I believe so.
Yeah, if it's an instant action, I don't see why not.
Okay, so, first thing I will do is use something I had not done in the beginning of combat. Paradigm shift.
Ew.
I will be using the Sentinel one, which gives me a bonus to my armor and magic armor equal to my level times 2. We are level 10, so now my armor and magic armor increased by
Christ.
20.
You offend me.
I offend you. Instant action number 2. Provoke. This will gain the attention of everybody in the room, and now everybody has to attack me.
Is that an opposed check?
Nope. Just says, doesn't say anything about an opposed check. Just says instant action once per combat. Stir
So,
an enemy
4
into
rounds.
rage.
That's what you wrote. Hold on. Where would it be in the rule book?
Page
All right,
89.
I found it. Through the choice use of a few taunts as an instant action once per combat, the warrior can stir an enemy into rage. The target, if provoked, will change tactics specifically to attack that character for 4 rounds, or until the warrior is unconscious/defeated. There's no restriction in how the target can do this, but all offensive attacks must either be directed at the warrior or include the warrior among the targets. If the warrior cannot be targeted or damaged, the enemy may attack freely, but will continue to go after the warrior if the opportunity presents itself. So it's a single target.
So it's a single turn. Okay, I thought it was everybody.
Nope, one or the other.
Well, I'm gonna provoke the Porksy.
All right.
He doesn't try to get away. Like, if I
what do you shout at the Porksy to provoke it?
I just turn around and it's like this. You're gonna fly off and run away, you overgrown ham.
It stops its retreat, turns at you, and just squeals something you imagine is profanity laden.
Neat.
Piglish
Now.
for fuck you, Tinhead.
Something to that effect.
Now, those are both instant actions, so I will not do my attack now. And since it is doing a spell, I'm going to add some knockback to this one.
Aha.
Although, if I may point out something.
Once its Darkness round is over, you can act at 17 to hit. That hits. You hit it. You could roll damage, but you get the sense that from its large size, it's immune to knockback.
All I was going to say is, doesn't Paradigm Shift usually activate at the beginning of combat?
Well, it says in the rulebook that I can use the first shift in combat as an instant action, and then the others are, and then the rest of, if I just want to switch it again, it's standard.
You just always do it at the beginning of combat, because why wouldn't you?
Because I honestly forgot about it before, because I didn't think we were going to have a combat this session.
Oh, because I was so excited to start slashing.
Yes. So, yeah, that's 104 damage to the thing.
104 damage. So, 104. That's 59 points of damage in total. As you come across this thing, try to push it back, it bars itself in front of you, doesn't move an inch, but you leave another gash in its chest. Hurricane?
I was gonna vote that they kill the Porky first before I do anything.
Alright.
All right.
Rest of you.
All right, I am going to growl in frustration at the reflection barrier, heft up my hammer.
The
and
bump.
I'm going to sort of fly forward, weave between the ladies, and as I come up to the Porksy, I'm just gonna fucking bludgeon it.
Thank you.
Okay, roll 2 hits.
11.
11 to hit. That just
All right.
hits.
All right, and my weapon is in hammer form, which means it ignores enemy armor.
Okay, go for it.
So this will be 60
do
plus
it.
2d6.
Bop it.
So wait, it's a hammer and what?
I can change it between a hammer and a staff.
Yeah.
And depending on
Mash
which
it to
form
pieces.
it's in will determine which type of armor I'm ignoring. So that is 68 unmitigated damage.
So, roll. Yep.
Yep, I already rolled it. 68. No mitigation. Just flat out.
68. I thought you said 68. 68 points of damage. It's barely holding on.
Oh, it's not mincemeat.
Like, it's in the 2 digits.
I can imagine like you just probably
Damn!
bonked it. It's just kind of like barely trying to
Yeah.
get up from the
It-
floor.
Yeah, it turns to do piglish swearing at Tarkus, and then just receives a hammer in the face for its language, and is now on the floor. Mini Porksy's just dancing around its head as it's wondering what truck hit it.
So just for flair, who would like to hit it next? Because I would like Balta to, after hitting it, sort of flip over it and then just push it with his lightning leg towards whoever wants to hit it next, just for flair.
Go ahead.
I volunteer.
Okay.
Ah,
Go for it, Freya.
Demon gets that final kill on the pork.
Well, if you do enough damage.
Barbecue
Come on.
anyone?
Please do.
Pull.
Pull!
That was just a joke.
Ah, love the smell of barbecue pork.
Okay.
So what are you doing, Freya?
I'm looking through my sheet and I don't know what to pick. There's so many things I could do.
For now, I don't think we need to do anything fancy. Just shank it.
You just kind of you
Shanking.
just grab it or just have him throw it on your knife.
Yeah, let's just do like a little shank.
Alright, go for it.
Okay. Accuracy, right?
Yep.
Accuracy, and if it hits, don't bother rolling damage.
And you still roll damage. It could still survive it. It's in the double digits, but
Hit.
Accuracy first and then do the shanking,
so yeah,
right?
2d6 plus 5 to hit.
Alright. No. Oh,
You miss. That misses.
Damn it.
So, Bolter, as you flip the Porksy over towards... What the hell did I just do?
Oh god!
I stretched him.
Mutating!
So you flip the Porksy towards Freya. Freya was not ready for your intent, so she just kind of flails and then just completely misses. She whiffs it. Ione?
Dang it.
and then just Ray just saying, how about a full warning next time?
Understood.
You volunteered!
Ari did. Freya did not.
Please smite this swine, it's starting to mutate.
The attention was on her, so she couldn't resist.
Alright, well, yep, see you little ice girl.
Hit it with knowledge.
Hit it with knowledge.
Bonk.
Hit it with knowledge.
Behold, the knowledge of death. Bonk.
Do we have the bonk sound
No, I
effect in
got
here? I don't
accuracy.
think we do.
You
No.
have it.
You'd have it, yeah.
I can't play it
Roll.
roll 20 though.
Roll to bonk.
I have to do accuracy, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm getting PTSD from the first campaign we did.
I'm getting inspiration with my old Shira.
That hits. Roll
Loving
damage.
grandma.
Lovable grandma.
Lovable
But also
grandma would love to bonk you on the head.
That wanted to smash up high, but it was forbidden.
The amount of time she bonked our freaking first campaign.
That was her point.
Found it.
Alright, so 2d6 plus 105 again.
The bonk lives
Ooh.
on.
111.
Same number.
Fiona, how do you want to do this?
Oh, I get a kill? I never
How-
gotten a kill in my life.
How do you want to do this? First kill of this mini adventure.
First kill of her entire time playing D&D.
I don't know, it's just frustration drives her to finally kill this pig after it's like freaking surprised her, hit her, it's immune to her ice because of its magic defense, just picks up the book and slams it down on its head.
So basically what happens, so Bolter hits it, it's on the ground, it's just seeing stars. He throws it, it's more disoriented, Freya misses. Then you're just fed up, it's like, oh, let me do this. So you just run up to it, you jump in the air, and just basically tackle dive your book onto this thing, and it just squishes. Like something gives, and it is liquefied pork now.
Birds are meant to fly, not pigs.
So let me just put the appropriate mark on it. It is dead.
Wowza.
Alright.
That's a splat.
Alright, Dragon Boy, do your thing.
Yep, now the pig is dead. I can do it.
Why did the pig need to be dead for you to do it?
Reflect, man. This spell will hurt if it reflects off him.
Oh, it's a group target. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Good plan.
Unless you want to get hit by Fraga, or however you pronounce it.
I'd rather not. Fraga.
Yeah, it does like 6
Your
points of
metal
frickin'
claws
damage.
have quick cast. So yeah, you're using quick cast?
Yes, because although he will move back a bit before letting out the flames.
Alright.
And yeah, that would be 40 MP to cast.
Alright, I'll take that away.
And fire will wash upon him. As I
Speaking of,
roll.
I need to take the Mithra's MP for what it's currently casting, which is all of its MP.
I would stand back, Edge Knight.
Haven't heard that one in a while.
Always Edge Knight.
Oh, and almost maxed again. Dang it! Always out by 1.
So how many points of damage in all?
Well, let's see. There's an 11 plus 6 points of my damage, which is 71 coming its way.
71 points of fire damage coming its way, so 51 points of fire damage in all washes over the Proto Mithra. It smells like burnt cat in here.
Does it take extra from fire?
No effect of fire. Which brings us to his go as his spell goes off. I need to read a thing because this is something. Okay, so. Okay, so I need to roll 1d6.
Uh-oh.
That's a 2, so yeah, that does it. Tarkus.
Oh no.
Yeah.
As it reaches out its hand, the amber glows, and an apparition of a shadowy skull appears and drifts towards you.
Is this
It
death?
It hits you and absorbs into you, and you start feeling not right as you are afflicted with doom.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
So you have 3 rounds.
Doom.
Yeah.
You gave this thing Doom.
It costs all its MP. I can't do it again.
It doesn't
This-
need to do it again.
You get the sense this is a notorious enemy.
Considering the fact that it had any destiny to speak of, yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's no need to hold back, is there?
If only that pig hadn't passed its force check multiple times.
God.
Be thankful, you could have been fighting 2 of these had you rolled any worse on the initial d6.
Nanny.
You got the pig instead.
Who squeals a lot.
I mean, if you rolled the best you could, you've got a 6, so you would have found it dead under the table and wouldn't have had to fight anything. So yeah, so it's done that. Its spell has gone off. Tarkus, you have Doom. So it is now going to take its actual turn. So I need to get its character sheet back up. I don't know why I turned it off. Okay, so it's pretty confident that you've been dealt with.
Excuse you.
It is heading off. Well, it just saw Hione absolutely destroy its buddy over there, so it is going after her.
Uh-oh.
Excuse you.
Oh.
I'm over here.
Yeah, you didn't cast.
You're dead, so it doesn't...
You
you're
didn't
gonna
taunt
die.
it, you taunted the pig. You got Doom. It's confident you're dead, so it's going after the next big threat, and that's what just squished its friend.
The little girl is not big threat.
And
You
they
can
can
small
drag
packages.
into
Big
knockback
dude with a
is
hammer and like, why doesn't it go flaunt over the succubus over there?
It's not interested in its sort of sister right now.
Big dragon, dagger, hammer goes after a little girl with book.
Little spicy little girl with book.
It's too much sass.
Too much sass. So
Knowledge is the greatest weapon.
okay, so it is just going to claw at you as it normally would. So it's going to roll to hit. That is 13 to hit. Your avoidance is 6, so that hits. So you take... That's 8... 128 points of damage. What's your armor?
25.
So that overall is 103 points of damage to you. As feeling pretty smug and victorious from squishing that porksy that had been annoying you so much, you don't see as this Mithra just comes charging at you and just claws into your back, leaving a bloody gash that freezes over as it goes. Back to your turn.
I tire of this abomination. And with that, he's gonna cast Flare.
Flare.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've already used your swift cast, though, right?
Yeah, this will be a slow action.
Yeah.
Right.
But that will
And
be
it costs
100
100 MP, so yeah, this is big.
And it's also long range, so
Yeah.
with that in mind, he's gonna probably move to a place where it's out of medium range of this thing. Possible. Yeah, it would be. I angle it right.
It can just reach you. No matter where you are in this room, it can just reach you.
Yeah, but that's slow action, so that's you. Tarkus, or anyone else, what are you doing?
Tarkus wants a word with this thing. Seeing as it just went around him and ignored him, he's going to be quite offended. Literally went around him, ignored him, and went after a little girl. He is offended.
It's almost like this is a maddened demon.
So, in his unhappy state, he will be using Meteor Rain.
Meteor Rain. We have a look
His
at that.
limit ability. As a standard action,
Ooh.
usable once per session, he will do this amount of damage. His force and his finesse added together times double his level.
That's 2 Destiny base, and you can add Destiny for repeat attacks.
Yep.
So take off 2 Destiny. Is he just doing 1?
Let's see here. What can I get away with? So 2 at base. 2 at base, you said?
2 destiny for the thing itself. You add 1 extra destiny for an extra attack.
Let's do 4.
So that's 3 attacks null, take off 4 destiny.
I'm me. Going to be able to do your limit break
This
once.
is an
then.
AoE, so do you roll to hit for this, or does it just happen?
I think it just happens.
It just happens.
Alright, so roll damage
So-
3 times.
Is it? There's no 2d6 added to that, right?
It'll be
Nope.
2d6, force plus finesse times double level.
No 2d6. It's just force
No
and
2d6?
finesse plus or multiply by double your level.
Alright, so
So
it's just going to be
force and
set
finesse.
damage.
So
Yeah.
force and finesse is 10.
Is this
Times 20.
mitigated by armor?
Yes. By
yes.
whichever
And
armor
it
he
can-
picks.
Alright.
Given you're using your great sword, I would say armor just because that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do armor, and let's see, 10 times 20, so that's 200 damage per attack, and that's 4 attacks.
How do you want
Or
to do
no.
this?
So, again, he was put on. He had Doom put on him. He was ignored, and they chose a little girl over him. He is pissed and just literally drags his greatsword across the floor behind this thing. Just leaves a great big like trail, and then you just see, and then everybody in the room just sees him just freaking just slash 3 times of this thing, and the force just sends Kione and everybody else away as he just annihilates this thing in rage.
As badass as that is, then what happens with the slow cast? Does that still go off or not? Because that's
No,
going to be
without a target, I'm
Yes.
pretty sure it would just go on. It would
Seeing,
just fade.
seeing that you're preparing the fire in you, you're ready to go, and then seeing targets just maul this thing like viciously, like holy shit.
How much?
Impressed
health-
and in slight awe, you just let the spell die in your throat.
So how much health did it have?
Like 540, but doing 200 each time. That
was like probably 6 or
Yeah,
800.
it wasn't gonna survive. It wasn't gonna survive.
I do know one thing. I'm going to need some frickin' ethers after this.
As am I. That's something we should probably stock up on.
But yeah,
I have some.
so you're
so
still
does Freya.
doomed.
Wait, that doesn't go away?
No, I don't think it
Oh.
does.
Okay. Wait, so there's no way of getting rid of it?
It's ticking down.
Hang on a second, I'm checking a thing. That would count as a
It
blue
won't
magic
kill you.
spell.
It won't kill you. By the way, it will just drop you to 0.
Level question mark doom. Let's see here. It doesn't say it goes away after the spell is cast.
No, it doesn't. You just have it.
And there's no way of getting rid of it?
So
I mean,
as he's
unless
asking
we
this
have a paladin.
question, you just see Tarkus just start to sway slightly, and then just fall flat on his face, unconscious.
I fly.
You just see like a great like dust fly is just how heavy he is.
Yeah.
All right, I will fly on over, and as I'm doing that, I'll turn my attention up to Kione. Do you think you could lock this room down?
Yeah, I think so.
Good. Freya, if you could turn your attention to the creatures, I'll tend to Tarkus. And I will expend 30 MP to cast Life.
All right. So Tarkus, you are brought back to 1 HP, and I can't get rid of the turn timer for some reason up top. It's not letting me.
Should be a little X marker there.
Can
X. We'll worry about it later. It's fine. So yeah,
You
Tarkus,
live.
you are back to 1 HP, waking up rather groggily and hurting everywhere.
Well,
Well, you live.
Little magic can't kill me.
Hmm.
Oh,
Technically it did. However, it seems we have an efficient healer on hand.
I've dabbled in many forms of magic in my time. I've had to. Can you stand, Tarkus?
He's a little wobbly, but yeah, he stands up just fine. That was nothing.
Well, just in case. And he drops you a high potion.
all right.
And
that's
and to
half
cover the
your-
rest and to cover the rest of it, I'll drop you 2 of mine since I have an abundance.
All right, so you're back to full.
Cool.
All right, so as things quiet down, and we are approaching the end, but just finished off in this chamber before we call it for the day. You have 2 corpses of an amber-infected Proto-Mithra and Proto-Porksy. All of the glass casings are shattered. The genome that was in one of them has just dissipated to nothingness. Research papers, the table's destroyed. Aside from the corpses, the only other thing left untouched is that Magitech terminal in the corner.
Okie dokie. Although, one question. Probably know the answer to this, but any loot off these 2?
Uh,
I would figure there
Well-
might be a destiny point or 2 from the notorious enemy, but otherwise I can't think of anything.
in terms of destiny points, I wasn't planning on giving them out because basing the stakes of conserving destiny. However, Tarkus, you have that ability that gives you extra destiny, right?
Yeah.
And because you got the kill on the thing and it was very glorious, I'll give you 1 destiny back.
Yay!
Alright.
But as far as loot goes, no, there's nothing else. Like, Gil doesn't exist, and these things came out of casings. They were research subjects. There's nothing on them. Aside from the amber infused into their bodies.
So his innate ability is... Okay.
What you guys doing?
We need to find some way to contain the bodies to make sure that the amber inside them doesn't spread.
Yes.
Can't the dragon just incinerate them?
That's always an
That's what I was
option.
That
That's what I
is-
was thinking.
we could do that, although that would deprive us of something to investigate for potential clues.
I could try freezing them, or does freezing their bodies not work?
I mean, but also, you do know that there are other containment tanks that are probably empty in other labs. All you need to do is really flag someone down.
I say envelop them in ice for now. If nothing else, that would slow down any spread. I'll get the attention
Yeah.
of someone who can get this shit contained more appropriately.
I will
Is
do
that
my
set?
best.
Alright.
I'm
And,
certainly not up for being terminated by Amber.
And Balta will keep a wide berth around these things as he heads out to go do the thing.
Alright, so it doesn't take long to track someone down, another light elemental being not unlike Luna Freya. Understandably perturbed when you take them back and show them the corpses, but with them frozen in ice, they promise to get a containment team in here, stat, and while they're doing that, bid you to undergo any investigation you need to beforehand. Like, once they take away the bodies, they'll be taking them away. So, and they'll be locking down this chamber as well. So anything you need to do now.
Well, probably gonna have some ethers to start off with.
Alright.
Although it probably will have to use all of my ethers just to get myself back to.
I will also
100%.
point out that at this point it's definitely dead in the night.
Mhm.
So at some point you're probably going to want to sleep.
Yeah, you'll probably get your
Yeah,
magic back in
so-
sleep, so I...
Okay, so
So
I could hold on to my 5 ethers.
Yeah,
That'd
you
be
save
handy.
those.
Anything else you want to do in this chamber before you leave it? There is still the Magitech terminal no one has checked.
I was gonna see if anyone else wanted to check that.
I'll check it.
Alright, so, Hione, as you approach, you... let me find my notes on it. You examine it, you find it is currently online. It is given various status updates on the tanks, all of them just reading massive errors. Also, various warnings of excess darkness having been recently introduced into the tanks. As you try to scroll into the warnings and look at the logs, you see that the data just isn't there. As if someone has potentially scrubbed it. And, well, you could always see if you can recover some of the data. It looks like it was potentially a rushed job, but that would require a systems check.
Oh god, the systems check.
Does little ice girl know computers?
No. I doubt I can try, because it won't give me much, unless I get a critical success.
Critical
I'm
success.
assuming that this is
Critical
happening
success.
while Braulta is getting the containment teams in here. Chronologically.
Yeah, her initially feeling with it is like as you come back with them and they are saying all that to you about how they're going to contain the room and everything, you see Hione making her attempt to scrub it and huffing in frustration as she fails miserably.
Don't understand this technology.
I lived here for a long time. I have some understanding of it. Let me try.
I'd appreciate that, thank you.
Alright, so Balti, you take Hione's place, and you see that in doing her attempts, like, more of the data seems to have got corrupted. You get the sense that any further tampering in the wrong way might permanently corrupt this terminal.
Okay, let's see what I can do here. That is a 14.
14 succeeds somewhat. Like it would have been a very high check to get all of the data back. Like the most recent logs are gone. Like they are corrupted. They are just you can never get them back. However, the logs you can get, it's largely mundane things over the last few weeks. Certain researchers coming in, investigating the tanks, fiddling with it. You see the genome in one, the porksy in another, and the Mithra in the third. Various reports on their development, how they compare to the currently nearly completed genomes, particularly regarding the Mithra, which is, from what you get, far more bestial than the final product. And how they wonder how these felines are going to survive on islands surrounded by water, and whether they'll eventually create a thriving fishing industry. Just various hypothetical speculations on what kind of civilization these Mithra will one day create. And then you get to the most recent logs, and you see Zonde has been in here quite a few times of late, and in the most recent log entry you get, which is only partial, you do indeed see that Zonde was alone in this room for a short time before departing. Any further logs past that are irrecoverable. You can't get them.
Troubling.
And I will say you were very close to getting the whole thing. You were one off.
Ugh. I should have pumped a destiny into it. Oh well, too late now. I'm starting to get a bad feeling. There are only so many people who would be able to inject this sort of thing. I can only think of 3 people off the top of my head. I'll sort of relay to the others what I found on the terminal. I don't want to contemplate it, but I'm starting to get a bad feeling that Zonde might be involved somehow.
You know, Bolter, that you have several other places you can now check. There are the amber deposits outside of town, which have yet to be investigated, which was your primary reason for coming here. You have the Academia Anida with Hyphodeus, which you also have yet to pursue. And you also know that, following the logic you are coming to, Zonde has personal quarters in the residential district of the city.
Ah, shit!
You've,
I accidentally
you've
clicked away
nev-
from Roll20.
No, don't do that. Yeah. You've never been to those residential quarters, so you don't know precisely where they are, but you do know he has a private residence. So, 3 clear avenues of approach, and any others you can potentially think of.
What do the rest of you think? Where should we go next? I don't think
Where
there's
would
much
you
else
think?
we're going. I don't think there's much else we're going to find here.
Depends. Where are we most likely to find more answers to this?
We were summoned to investigate the Amber. But at the same time, I'm starting to suspect that my brother might have some sort of involvement. I'd feel reluctant to press that without more evidence, though. As of right now, it's just a theory. Happenstance. Coincidence. I need something more concrete before I'd feel comfortable investigating him directly.
More information is required, clearly.
We should also better understand what it is we're even investigating in the first place. So my vote would be that we investigate the amber deposits outside of the city next. Farther away from the tower, it should let Freya get a better idea of what we're dealing with.
I agree with that. However, I feel that some of us need some rest at least.
Of course.
Regain strength.
Right. We're gonna hit the deity's rest for the night and set out in the morning if there are no objections.
You're afraid to shake your head.
None from me.
Very well.
In that case, as you begin to depart the room, questions heavy on your mind, suspicions towards some that might be considered a friend or a brother. That's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Whew. All right, man.
Pretty good start, man.
Yeah, for a first stab at it, you're doing good.
See why I wanted to press on a bit longer? Throw some things at you.
No, I think that's a good stopping
I
point.
think that's good.
No, earlier you wanted to stop. This is why I wanted to continue going, because we were about to enter a combat.
I see.
You bastard. So are
I
you
wanted
mad
to-
at me that I killed it easily?
Oh no, that was glorious. That was a good kill.
I mean, even Arcane showed you some respect by
It's like,
giving his
oh.
only high potion to you.
That was expensive destiny-wise, though, man.
Hey, I get extra destiny. I'm allowed to abuse it.
Yes, because you have victory pose since you're a
Yeah.
warrior.
I will say I wasn't planning on giving you any destiny points during this campaign to give you some tension regarding your usage. Tarkus only sometimes gets them because of an ability he has. For
Yeah,
clarity.
but you would get 2.
Now he gets one.
I get
Yeah.
one because I get one because nobody else does. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, none of the rest of us got any destiny from that.
So, as your reigning overlord for the next few weeks, thank you all so very much for watching, and we shall catch up with these misfits of an inquisitorial team next time. Ta-ra!
Bye,
All right,
everyone.
we will see you next time.
Bye bye.